following concerns raised about Veolia, the company that manages the sewerage district. Community group Common Ground has accused Veolia of mismanagement and infrastructure breakdowns. Veolia denies the allegations and claims Common Ground is trying to influence the bidding process ahead of a new long-term contract. MMSD leaders say they're reviewing options for a third-party audit and expect to discuss them next month. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
A song banned from a Watertown High School concert still finds its way to the stage.
Hundreds packed Emmanuel Evangelical Lutheran Church after the Watertown School Board blocked the high school band from performing Mother of a Revolution, a piece tied to LGBTQ history.
Had this piece just been played, nobody would have thought a thing about it. You know, it's not a single word in the piece.
Composer Omar Thomas traveled to Wisconsin to conduct the performance himself.
This piece is about a mother of a revolution who started a mother of a revolution.
The concert was live streamed to viewers across multiple states and countries. Nazir Spencer, WTMJ News.
There's growing concern among congressional Republicans about the $1.8 billion anti-weaponization fund set up by the Trump administration.
Oklahoma Senator James Lankford is one Republican questioning whether the new fund could see taxpayer money going to those who beat Capitol Police officers on January 6th.
I don't understand why any of those folks would receive any kind of compensation.
Senate Democrats will aim to put Republicans on the record on the fund and on the president's ballroom project as final action nears on a bill that would fund immigration enforcement. But noting a lack of interest among Republicans in putting taxpayer money into the ballroom, senators say $1 billion provision for the Secret Service has been removed from the package. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Washington.
And the U.S. is responding to pleas for help dealing with a growing Ebola outbreak linked to a rare virus in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Secretary of State Marco Rubio.
So objective number one is to make sure that Ebola never reaches the United States. Objective number two is do what we can to help the people of DRC and neighboring countries so it doesn't spread. And I think we're up to 600 confirmed cases. There are probably more. We'll learn more about it.
Rubio says the U.S. is helping to build clinics to help those affected, despite armed groups threatening the region. Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything in the red here this afternoon. The Dow is off about 85 points at 49,925. NASDAQ down about 100 at 26,167. And the S&P is off about 25 today at 7409. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
Remember yesterday at this time I said bring out the brooms because the Brewers were ready to sweep the Cubbies? They did it. So what's next? We're going to find out. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 12:04.
Save on the best quality furniture and mattresses during the Memorial Day sale at Ken Michaels Furniture. With major discounts from our premier suppliers, you will save big bucks on top brands like Bradington Young, made in the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. Bradington Young is known for its fine quality leather upholstery. Fjords brings you modern Scandinavian designed recliners and sofas, ergonomically engineered for more hip and back support. Norwalk, with American roots that go back over 100 years, specializes in making furniture just for you. Choose the piece, style, fabric, or leather you want, and in just 35 days, we'll deliver your new sofa, chair, or sectional. In-stock or special orders are all sale priced. Need a little help putting it all together? At Ken Michaels Furniture, our design staff is ready to help you with your purchases. And it's free. Stop in today and save during our Memorial Day sale at Ken Michaels Furniture on Capitol Drive in Brookfield, Highway 100 in Greenfield, or our downtown Mattress Factory showroom.
It's WTMJ's Julia Fellow for Sweet Talks Medical Spa in Menominee Falls. If you're looking for expert care without that cold clinical vibe, Sweet Talks is where beauty, wellness, and self-confidence comes together in such a fun, welcoming space. Sweet Talks offers injectables, advanced skin treatments, even wellness services like weight loss or hormone optimization. Sweet Talks provides a comprehensive consultation designed just for you. Learn more at sweettalks.com.
You should be listening to Wisconsin's Midday News with Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty each weekday.
This is a deep cut. I like this song. I'm gonna buy this song, so tell me what it is.
Nobody does it like McFarlane. It's AI generated 90s R&B featuring our favorite Chief Washington correspondent. It's you, buddy.
But if you missed us, catch up anytime with our Wisconsin's Midday News podcast. Powered by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Brewers president of baseball operations Matt Arnold proud of his young starting pitching staff that limited the Cubs to just 3 earned runs and nearly 18 innings pitched in a 3-game sweep at Wrigley.
Just being able to get through those games with young guys, again, when we're looking at guys like Sproat, Mizorowski, Harrison starting those games, those are really young players, and I think those experiences for these guys is going to carry over.
Following a 5-1 road trip, the Brewers return home for a 3-game weekend series against the Dodgers beginning Friday night. In the NBA, the Cavaliers and Knicks meet up tonight in New York in Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Thunder and Spurs' best-of-7 Western Conference series is tied at a game apiece.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. I do want to let you know right off the bat that I-43 in Waukesha County is still closed between Highway 83 and Highway 164 because of a deadly crash earlier this morning. There were 2 semis involved in this. Happened in Waukesha County near Big Bend. One semi rear-ended the other, killing one of the drivers at the scene. Cameras are still turned off right now, but I can tell you that I-43 is still closed between Highway 83 and Highway 164 in Waukesha County, so still take an alternate route if you are traveling that way. That is not the only crash that I have to tell you about right now. We do have a new crash, a brand new crash here in the last 20 minutes or so. Crash on the exit to 164 County J from 94 West. That one also in Waukesha County, and that also looks to involve 2 semis.
Traffic is sponsored by Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee. Design Exchange is where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Well, partly cloudy today, a chance of some rain here in the afternoon, a high of 52 degrees. Clouds continue tonight and a low of 45. Friday, chance of rain late with a high of 64 inland, 60 closer to Lake Michigan. Saturday, a pretty similar situation here with a chance of AM showers, then partly cloudy, high of 62. Finally warming up a little bit on Sunday into the mid-70s with a slight chance of rain. Memorial Day Monday looks like a winter, mostly sunny and a high of 76. It's 44. That's it in Milwaukee at 12:09.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
I'm sorry, it's 43. I hit the refresh button, hoping for a little bit of a warm-up. We actually lost a degree here in the last 5 or 6 minutes or so.
It's brisk.
Come on.
My husband left to fly out about 15 minutes before I was leaving this morning, and I walked out into the kitchen, and I thought, woo, it is chilly. And he likes to open the patio door in the morning, and so I thought he did that and closed it. Oh, no, he left it open. And I was like, hey, Siri, what's the high temp for today? And I thought, oh, no, we've got to close that baby because it is refreshing. It'll wake you up, but right now it's the afternoon, and we don't need that anymore. We're already awake.
I'm good. I'm good.
It's now at noon on Wisconsin's Midday News.
The peak travel time for Memorial Day weekend starts now in Wisconsin. Despite high gas prices, more than 45 million Americans are expected to travel at least 50 miles this weekend. Are you one of them?
AAA says this holiday will see a slight increase in road travel compared to last year, but also higher gas prices. The national average is now $4.56 a gallon. Traffic data company INRIX says the worst times to drive will be Thursday and Friday afternoons, especially between 3 and 6 p.m., with major backups expected in cities like New York, Boston, Denver, and Los Angeles.
That's ABC's Stephanie Ramos. So the worst time to drive, in case you missed it, right now. And then, again, tomorrow afternoon. Average price, by the way, for a gallon of regular is $4.46 in Wisconsin today. That's the average, of course. It depends where you fill up. In Waukesha County, a gallon of regular is going for $4.45 a gallon. In Milwaukee County, it's $4.49. And in Ozaukee County, it's $4.62. So I'm not filling up there unless I'm on fumes. I'm going to go a little bit further. Push on.
Is this starting a little earlier than usual? I was kind of I was interested to see that today is one of like the peak travel times. Today and tomorrow. Tomorrow I would expect that makes sense to me. Maybe a half day of work for some people, but it's really getting it started early if you're cruising out on Thursday.
In Wisconsin, peak travel time starts at noon today. So we're in it.
Number 2, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration predicting 8 to 14 named storms this year in the Atlantic. A little different story in the Central Pacific, where storm activity is expected to be slightly higher than usual. NOAA Administrator Neil Jacobs explains the difference.
In the Atlantic, the El Nino increases the vertical wind shear, which disrupts the outflow at higher levels. However, in the Central and Eastern Pacific, the El Nino reduces the vertical wind shear, essentially the opposite of the Atlantic, which is why we're expecting above average season, in addition to the warmer sea surface temperature.
I often find myself thinking about the vertical wind shear, so it's nice to get that explanation here from Neil. You pay attention to the Atlantic storms for obvious reasons, right? The Central Pacific, that's not really going to affect anybody here in the United States, but the Atlantic storms is something that we pay close attention to. Florida holds a 74% probability of a named storm tracking within 50 miles of the coast, about a 21% of a major hurricane, 54% for the Carolinas on having a named storm. The first named storm for such a storm in the Atlantic this year, Arthur. It's kind of a re-rack of 2020. They've got a very similar list. Sometimes these names get retired if the storm is so dangerous and so devastating that they don't want that name to come back and bring about those negative thoughts.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want a Katrina again. Well, some of the Ridgeland Beagles are coming back from foster homes tonight and will be up for adoption at Hawes. They're estimating 6 Beagles will return between 5 and 6 tonight. They're ready to find permanent homes. Adoption hours at Hawes typically end at 5 on weekdays, but they understand the excitement here, so they're keeping the doors open a little bit longer in case a family is ready to adopt right away. Take note, though, usual adoption requirements stand. That means you have to file an application, and everyone in your household has to be there to meet the dog, including any current dogs you have. The Wisconsin Humane Society has also adopted out some of the Ridgeland Beagles already. 2 organizations purchased 1,500 dogs from Ridgeland Farms last month, and the dogs are now finding new homes across the country, not just here in Wisconsin.
It's 12:13 on WTMJ. Just getting started here, Wisconsin's Midday News.
Gene Miller here for my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors. As the days get longer and Wisconsin weather shifts, it's a good time to check your home's comfort. If your house felt drafty this winter, it may be time for an upgrade. Hometown offers energy-efficient windows and doors from Bella, Marvin, Anderson, and more. All on display in their New Berlin showroom, all installed by Hometown employee carpenters. Wood, vinyl, or Fibrex, they have options for every budget. Call my friends today at Hometown Windows and Doors. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need.
At Big Fish Contracting, we want every home project to be a good story worth sharing. That's why we as a team aim to exceed your expectations. We can improve any aspect of your home. Everything from a complex remodel to the essential roof, gutters, siding, and windows. Integrity, humility, and kindness are why we've grown in southeastern Wisconsin for the last 2 decades. Visit bigfishcontracting.com to learn how Big Fish is renovating homes and redeeming an industry.
Are you hosting an event, launching something new, wanting to get the word out about your part of the state? Be a featured guest on the WTMJ Experience Wisconsin show. Share your story, promote your event or business, and connect with fans all across the state. I'm John Merkier. I'd love to interview you. We reach listeners from Milwaukee to Madison, Green Bay to La Crosse, everywhere in between. It's Experience Wisconsin. Ready to shine a spotlight on your business or company? Email me, john@wtmj.com for more information. john@wtmj.com.
This message reaches 1 million people or more every week. Spreading the gospel is more than one voice speaking to 1 million. It is and must continue to be 1 million voices, each speaking to one, pointing them to our friend Jesus.
The Lutheran Hour with Dr. Michael Ziegler.
The Lutheran Hour, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
Well, light rain should end here in Milwaukee County sometime before 2 o'clock. It's kind of a cold day right now. It's cloudy, some rain falling, depending where you are in the listening area. Right now, sitting at just 43 degrees. 53 is scheduled high. I should be able to get there later in the afternoon. But right now, temperature's not all that great. Sun not shining. So kind of a cold day. Overnight low should be somewhere in the low 40s. Tomorrow we get up to 62 degrees as our high with a chance of rain later in the day. Got to get to Memorial Day for a clear sunny day with temperatures in the mid-upper 70s, though Sunday looks pretty good too with temperatures in the mid-70s. There is a chance of rain throughout the day. 43 and kind of dreary in Milwaukee at 12:16. Well, if you're looking to get your daughter involved in something, why not rely on an organization that has had a presence here in the state of Wisconsin for over 100 years? The Girl Scouts of Wisconsin Southeast. Been around since 1917. Anna Simpson is the CEO, joining us in our studio today to talk all about cookies. This is all about cookies.
No,
Anna, right?
no, Greg, come on.
No, you don't want to be friends.
Can we get to the cookies eventually?
We love our cookies, but it's not all about cookies.
You talked about the history here, though, briefly. 1917, that is amazing to think of, right? Girl Scouts of America really has been a proud organization for so many years. But Anna, now that you're in your role, how do you blend historically what this has been all about with today's youth and what their interests are and how you develop the next level of female leaders?
I think one of the things that I'm most proud of this organization is that it's always been an organization that is for girls and by girls, meaning that girls play an integral role in planning what it is that they want to do and what that experience looks like. And so we always say that we have to continue to meet girls where they're at, and that means evolving, right, with the times. So yes, the outdoors are important, and they're one of our core pillars, but also is STEM. And when you think about technology and where we're at today, you brought up the cookies. Well, when my girls were Girl Scouts, they went door to door because they're 30 and 25, and it was the physical sheet that we had to fill out. Well, now girls have apps, and they can pay via their phones, or usually their adult supervisor, has the payment on the phone. But either way, they're learning now about marketing skills and using digital marketing to promote their cookies and all of the digital sales components of it, right? So that's just one example of how we've had to evolve. But again, it's really listening to the girls and what it is that they would like to see and what's going to keep them engaged in today's world.
You just brought me back for a moment to being a Girl Scout way back in the day here in Milwaukee, and especially a brownie. I can actually visualize the brown sash that I had, and you were so proud when you got the little badges. And thank you, by the way, because she just gave me once a Girl Scout, always a Girl Scout badge. So I've got a new one here. But you're right. It has come so far. It's so different than it was. You mentioned STEM and a little bit, I guess, too, with the Girl Scouts and how they do sell cookies now. I guess it would be entrepreneurship. Mm-hmm. So what are some of the other ways that Girl Scouts are evolving here in Southeast Wisconsin? What does the mission really look like in 2026?
So the mission has always been to build girls of courage, confidence, and character. But our 4 pillars are STEM, entrepreneurship. So you hit the nail on the head. Outdoor skills and life skills. And those really, I believe, are core pillars that stand the test of time and really can be relevant no matter what that experience looks like. But an example of how we're evolving, and this is hot off the press, we literally did the press release today. We entered into a partnership with Carroll University. And so for girls that have earned their gold award, so that's the highest award in Girl Scouting. So most people are familiar with an Eagle Scout.
Sure.
Both an Eagle Scout and a gold award recipient enter the military at a higher pay grade. So there's a federal recognition. But for example, if you attend Carroll University, no matter where you're coming from across the nation and you're a gold award Girl Scout, you qualify for 4 credits of prior learning. So you're entering your college experience with 4 credits already in hand. And there are handfuls of colleges and universities across the country, and some right here in Southeast Wisconsin, that offer scholarships for Gold Award Girl Scouts and Girl Scouts. And last month, we announced that through a generous donation through the Greater Milwaukee Foundation and a donor who was passionate about educating young women and girls for their post-secondary education, we are now issuing $30,000 in college scholarships as well in Southeast Wisconsin. So again, really thinking about what are ways that we not only that girls can earn their badges and they can feel the rewards of their efforts that way, but also thinking about when they are young alum of Girl Scouts and how they still continue to reap the benefits and also get credit for the hard work that they did.
That's fabulous. And that money matters. It all adds up.
Yeah.
Anna Simpson is the CEO of Girl Scouts of Wisconsin Southeast. So in 2025, your group commissioned the Wisconsin Girl Report. What was the goal behind this? What were you looking to find?
So for us, the goal was we had been looking at other states across the nation that had been commissioning several reports. And one of the things that we recognized that was missing was really looking at the data across the state and what is it that girls are facing. We know that mental health, for example, has been a challenge for quite a bit of time. And then you throw a pandemic, and we have really seen the after effects of that. And also technology and how that plays a role in teen mental health. So really looking at what are academic achievements across the state of Wisconsin, what are health, what's the health situation, how do those social determinants of health really impact girls across the state of Wisconsin, and ultimately, right, is trying to show that an organization like Girl Scouting is an integral part of what should be that development of our young women across the state and how we are being able to combat some of those issues that we see across the state by girls that are participating in programs like Girl Scouting.
I remember, I think it was back in November, we talked to you when the report was first issued. And I remember going through it. It was extensive. And it also was very eye-opening. When you look at some of these striking statistics, you talk about half of Wisconsin girls reporting symptoms of depression. It was so sad to hear. And I almost felt bad highlighting some of that. But it's critical information. It's so important. I'm curious, since we've talked to you in November, how exactly you are using that information, or what you really took from it that you're saying, okay, we are doing this about that.
Yes, I love that question. And you're right. It was a very extensive report, 82 pages.
Yeah.
But so for us, what we really have been doing initially is really getting the word out there about the data. I think it's important for people to understand and know what the data is. And to your point, I think a lot of people are taken aback and surprised by the findings. Our commitment is, and we've been working with Girl Scouts of the United States, they're looking at trying to create a more regular cadence of this type of data really coming out across the country because there have been so many states that independently have done this, recognizing that it is important to say we have the longitudinal data that shows that girls that have been participating in programs like ours tend to suffer less from mental health complications, that we do trauma-informed care, that we are training our volunteers to look for situations where a girl may be going down a path that she might be in danger. And we also know that Girl Scouts look at, or girls that participate in Girl Scouts really look at our organization as that safe third space, and that our adults that are working with the girls are a trusted adult in that girl's life, and that report showed that children need at least five trusted adults in their lives, right? So family, teachers, but beyond that, who is part of that ecosystem that children can feel safe around. So again, really making those ties, but it starts with, we've got to get that data out there so that folks understand the importance.
Gearing up for a big summer. I imagine summer camps are still a big thing in the Girl Scouts, right?
Yes, huge. We serve over 3,000 girls each summer at summer camp.
Camp Hero? Is that the latest now? Camp Hero sounds fascinating. What are the girls doing?
That one's one of my favorite camps. If there's anything that I say that I have FOMO over is that I didn't get to participate in Camp Hero when I was a teenager. And I also think that speaks to meeting girls where they're at. So I talked about the partnership with colleges and universities, but not every person goes that route, correct? And so Camp Hero is a perfect example of being able to expose young women to quote unquote non-traditional careers that females still are very underrepresented, but yet are a necessary part of that diversity of that workforce, right? So Camp Hero is for EMS workers, police, and fire, and it's a wonderful partnership between Milwaukee Area Technical College and Milwaukee Police and Fire Departments. And the girls full on get to experience a full week of actor shooter trainings. They go out to Lake Michigan and do rescue missions. They rappel from buildings. They put out fires, full gear. I mean, it's incredible. So like I said, that's an opportunity that I absolutely love. And the best part is that last year, we now have young women that have graduated from Girl Scouting, but now are cadets in those programs, training to be full-time police and fire. So it's showing also how we're impacting the future pipeline of workforce in this community. And that's really exciting to me as well.
Perfect.
Anna Simpson joining us here from the Girl Scouts of Wisconsin Southeast, the CEO of the organization. Thank you for the work that you do and sharing a little bit about what's new with
Thanks
the Girl
for the
Scouts.
invitation and for allowing us to come here and tell our story a little bit.
Love it. Thanks so much.
Great to have
Thank
you
you.
here. 12:26, we've got news coming up.
Are you looking for a welcoming place to unwind? Vince Vitrano here. Our family found a home at Racine Country Club. Premier golf on the historic championship course, rolling terrain, famously fast greens, tight fairways, and scenic Root River views. Work your game year-round with indoor simulators, hitting bays, top-notch practice facilities, and leagues for every level. Plus, at Racine Country Club, you enjoy elevated dining, swimming, and a full calendar of family-friendly events. Join me on the course at Racine Country Club, racinecountryclub.com.
And now about your house. It's where you live, but do you also live in your yard? My friends at Outdoor Living Unlimited help people extend their home, living beyond the wall. Your imagination may be somewhat limited, so let's call on Eric Brown, president of Outdoor Living Unlimited, to expand upon it.
I'm confident that 90% of the listeners can look outside their home and dream of a better, nicer, way more outstanding backyard. If you're one of the many, you'll need to call Outdoor Living Unlimited. Outdoor Living Unlimited's expert team can design a beautiful, functional, usable backyard space. Then our team can build it. You dream it, we build it. New deck, outdoor kitchen, pavers, retaining walls, screen room. How about a must-see automated pergola that doubles as a screen room? Picture this, a pergola that allows the sunlight through the slats, but with the press of a button, those slats close and now you have protection. Another press of the button and the screens roll down. There's your screen room. The ideas are endless. We recently built a brand new deck with a screen room pergola on top and stairs that lead to a paver oasis complete with a fire pit and seat walls. Amazing. New deck, outdoor kitchen, screen room, automated pergola. Let Outdoor Living Unlimited design and build the amazing backyard. Find us at OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
See all the cool things that Outdoor Living Unlimited can do for your yard on their Instagram page, or visit their unique outside-in showroom in Waukesha. And if you're looking outside of your home, dreaming of a more beautiful and functional, usable backyard, well, Outdoor Living Unlimited can design and build you an amazing showstopper of a deck, patio, complete with pergola and fire pit, just like they did for us. With expert care, Outdoor Living Unlimited installed a beautiful paver patio, complete with land and stone retaining wall, all sorts of space, room for a built-in kitchen, and complete with a gas fire pit. It's where we spend all of our time. Visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Politics, work, daily stressors. Let's take a break from all that and get centered, Christ-centered. I'm Pastor Tim Butker. Join me each week for Christian Crusaders, a broadcast that highlights the gospel, the good news of Jesus, and our belief in the authoritative Word of God. Christ-centered, gospel-oriented, Bible-based Christian Crusaders. Please join us Sundays at 6 a.m. on WTMJ. We'd love to have you worship with us.
We're Ted and Pam, owners of Church and Chapel Funeral Homes here in town.
Our family, serving your family.
Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. There's one near you.
It's 12:30. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. Your top story, looking for the suspect tied to car fires.
I'm Jessica Ty. How much are you willing to pay for Packers tickets?
Partly cloudy, chance of rain here. Should clear out before 2 o'clock. High 52, mostly cloudy tonight, low 45. It's 44 degrees in Milwaukee at 12:30.
ABC News, I'm Chuck Sievertson. Fellow Republicans in Congress are outraged at President Trump's intention to have the Justice Department set up a fund to pay people claiming they were harmed by the government, potentially including people who injured police in the January 6th attack on the Capitol. Inside the Oval Office today, the president was asked about Iran's enriched uranium.
Right now we're negotiating, and we'll see. But either we're going to get it one way or the other. They're not going to have a nuclear weapon.
A measure to force President Trump to end the Iran war is expected to come up for a vote in the House today. Big test of lawmakers' willingness to go along with a war they didn't okay. Ukrainian drones smashed into another Russian refinery overnight, starting a big fire, says Ukrainian President Zelensky. The number of people applying for state jobless benefits was little changed in the week just ended. Labor Department's weekly report found 209,000 people submitting their initial applications. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 12:31. Developing story in Lannon. Students are being held indoors at Lannon Elementary School in Waukesha County. School officials say it's in response to a law enforcement situation happening off of school property. All staff and students are considered safe. We'll get you more details as they become available.
A safety concern prompts an evacuation at a Cudahy Elementary School. Staff members at J.E. Jones Elementary were alerted to bomb threats this morning. As a precaution, students and staff were evacuated and access to the school was restricted. Parents were reunited with their kids as a designated site. District staff is now working with emergency responders.
Milwaukee Mitchell International Airport is $8 million closer to redeveloping Concourse E, the airport receiving grant funding from the Federal Aviation Administration's Airport Terminals program. The project now has a total of over $21 million in federal support. Concourse E will replace the current international arrivals terminal. It'll be used for international and domestic flights with an expectation it'll be complete in late 2027.
Tickets to Packers games can often be a big expense for fans. The manager of Ticket King says home games with the rivalry can be the most expensive.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's unprecedented from what I've seen over the last 15 years. The rivalry's back on. The Bear fans are all juiced up. I mean, and obviously the Packers and Bears are both great.
Okay, are you ready for this? Here's what you really want to know. This year's most expensive game is coming up against the Bears in October. $600 just to get you in the door.
Week 5 that matchup, and maybe the return of Micah Parsons.
That would be nice.
Meanwhile, the Brewers Community Mural Project unveils its 6th piece on Milwaukee's South Side.
The mural was unveiled Wednesday on the side of Plateria Yayo, a Mexican-style ice cream shop at 18th Street and Lincoln Avenue. Artist Whitney Salgado tells WTMJ,
I haven't done a lot of murals, but I really enjoy how it's almost like a performance. It's an interactive thing.
The mural is in honor of Reynaldo Mexicano, the artist who was originally picked but passed away in a crash last year.
I feel like at least we're very taken care of by the community, and I hope that the community also sees this as a gift to them.
The new South Side piece is titled South Side in La Ore Magica and features a vendor pushing a cart with American Family Field in the distance. Elizabeth Linton in WTMJ News.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, coming up on 12:34.
Start your weekend tonight at the Fox and Hound Supper Club with a free dinner. Voted the best supper club in the area and most romantic restaurant. WTMJ's John Mercure here. I know because I'm a regular at the Fox and Hounds. It's fantastic. When you buy one dinner, your second dinner is free. The Fox and Hounds is the most affordable and unique dining destination in the state. Tucked into the heart of the Kettle Moraine Forest, the setting is just breathtaking. Order your favorite seafood, steak, pasta, a big fresh salad, steak and lobster, the ribs, any of it. Your second dinner is free. Desserts and the huge ice cream drinks. Buy one, get one free, and I love that chocolate cake. Relax with a hand-muddled old-fashioned, 20 bourbons to choose from, 100 fine wines in one of their 8 elegant dining rooms. The Fox and Hounds, just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of Holy Hill. A spring drive is beautiful in Wisconsin. Weekends might be too busy for some. Enjoy a free dinner tonight. Tables are open. FoxandHoundsRestaurant.com.
Hey everybody, it's WTMJ's Debbie Loziga for Access Legal. I see firsthand how hard Wisconsin workers push themselves. From the construction crews on the roads I monitor every day to the countless jobs that strain the body over time. For many, that wear and tear turns into real pain. My friends at Access Legal understand what you're going through and they want to help. Their team has recovered more than $35 million for Wisconsin workers and will fight for the benefits you're entitled to as well. Worn down by work? Contact Access Legal for a risk-free consultation. That's AXIS Legal.
Courage shows up in many ways. In the first responder answering the call and the veteran who has served our country with honor. Mission 94 Firearms Education Center was created by veterans who understand what it truly means to serve and to lead. Today, they bring that mindset to every experience they offer. With advanced training, knowledgeable instructors, and a mission-driven approach, Mission 94 helps build confidence, awareness, and responsibility. See what it means to train with purpose. Just Google Mission 94.
May is here, which means your house is officially done hiding under snow. And now you can see everything it needs. Good news, Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help. Upgrade to energy-efficient windows, durable roofing, new siding, or a beautiful bath remodel and get $3,000 off your project. Think of it as spring cleaning, but way more impressive. That's $3,000 in instant savings during our May savings event, but it won't last long. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. Exterior Pros and Baths. Big savings done right.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. Brewers president of baseball operations Matt Arnold proud of his young pitching staff that limited the Cubs to just 3 earned runs and nearly 18 innings pitched in a 3-game sweep at Wrigley. Brewer starters controlling the Cubs offense.
Just being able to get through those games with young guys, again, when we're looking at guys like Sproat, Mizorowski, Harrison starting those games, those are really young players, and I think those experiences for these guys is going to carry over.
Following a 5-1 trip, the Brewers return home for a 3-game weekend series against the Dodgers. That begins Friday night. In the NBA, the Cavaliers and Knicks meet up tonight in New York in Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals. The Thunder and Spurs, best of...
One semi rear-ended the other, and one of the drivers was killed right there at the scene. So heads up, avoid the area. It is still closed. That's I-43 in Waukesha County between Highway 83 and Highway 164. Crash happened near Big Bend. That is not the only crash we are on top of for you right now. There's also a crash on the exit to 164 County J from 94 West. That is also in Waukesha County. Last time I took a peek at that one, it involved 2 semis. I'm pulling up the camera right now for you, and I have a great development. Both of those semis are now out of there. It looks like that crash just cleared.
I want to piggyback your traffic report real quick. We talked about this issue at Lannon Elementary School in Lannon. Heavy police presence in the village of Lannon. It's kind of a small area right around Lannon Elementary School. They've got areas blocked off, so parents looking to maybe pick their kid up from school, if you have anything going on, maybe a dentist appointment or something like that, or getting out of town for the holiday weekend here, you'll not be allowed beyond the law enforcement boundaries. They're saying it's quite a heavy police presence right now for something happening off of school grounds in the neighborhood of Lannon Elementary School, and all the students and staff are currently being held indoors while this is happening. So keep that in mind. It's kind of a smaller area here in southeastern Wisconsin, but you may have to find a new route to get to the school based upon the law enforcement presence in that area. As for the weather here, it's kind of a crummy day right now. Cloudy and a little bit of rain in the area. Eventually, that'll move out and get a high of 52 degrees. Overnight low in the upper 40s. Tomorrow, high 62 degrees with a chance of rain. It's currently 44 and cloudy in Milwaukee at 12:39. Well, strange story out of Florida. I know that itself does not seem shocking in any way, but follow this. A father and daughter from Florida are speaking out after a recent Lyft ride involving said daughter and one of her teenage friends resulted in a driver allegedly submitting an AI-generated image as part of a damage claim. We welcome in ABC investigative reporter Peter Haralambous. Peter, help fill in the blanks here. What exactly happened?
Yeah, so in this case, this was a story about a man who got a notification on his phone saying that he'd been charged $75 for this cleaning fee. He was originally very angry at his daughter, who was in the car at the time, when he saw this image purporting to show spilled drink and French fries in the back seat. He was even angrier until his daughter realized that there was a watermark on the photo left behind by Google Gemini, that AI software that you can use to create an image really of anything. At that point, they pushed back. They were able to get a refund for that $75 charge, and that Uber driver was removed from the platform. But this appears to be just the latest example in a growing number of scams that utilize AI to make it easier to deceive consumers and harder to detect. In this case, they were lucky that there was a watermark. A lot of systems don't create an obvious evidence that it is AI generated, making it even harder to know for sure whether you're getting scammed.
So you mentioned that watermark. Are there other warning signs that people should be looking for in suspicious claim photos? And what should you do immediately if you get hit with a surprise damage fee?
Yeah, at this point, it's important to just monitor your credit card charges, monitor to see if you're getting charged. And if you're really cautious about this and you're paranoid, you could also try taking a photo of the back seat of your Uber or Lyft just to have evidence. In terms of actually telling if something's AI generated or not, that's where it gets trickier because the technology has gotten really good. It used to be the case that we could tell you, keep an eye out for a sixth finger or something obvious like that. The technology, though, has significantly improved. We've now gotten to the point at which AI generally doesn't really hallucinate in that way. That being said, if there's something obvious in the image, a shape that's a little off, AI sometimes struggles with text. So if it shows like jarbled text, that can be a warning sign. and of course these watermarks. But overall, it's fully possible, not even as a tech illiterate person, but really anyone, myself, experts I've spoken to, we even struggle to identify the difference between what is real and fake nowadays.
So, Peter, how is Lyft responding?
Lyft is saying that they're monitoring for this kind of scam. They're removing that driver from the platform, and they're saying that consumers should remain vigilant. The hope really on their end is that if they impose a stiff enough penalty, in this case removing a driver from the platform, that will disincentivize people from doing this. Because at the end of the day, $75 isn't that much if the risk is being removed from the platform entirely.
Fascinating story. ABC's Peter Haralambous. We appreciate it, Peter. Thanks you.
Thanks, Peter.
Thanks so much, guys.
Yep, you bet. Kind of an interesting story here. So it's using AI to create this false scenario, but good on the father and his daughter for pushing back on Lyft.
So I get on the app and I start communicating with their customer service, and the customer service says, oh yes, you were charged a $75 damage fee on the car because the car was left a mess. And in my mind, I'm thinking these girls are grounded for the whole weekend.
So what he did after that is requested the pictures.
So
All right,
smart.
Show me.
Yes.
Show me what you got here. I have no idea what you're talking about. And his daughter obviously is like, well, we just got in the car. We rode home.
Wouldn't you be furious?
Didn't do anything.
He's like the Lyft driver trying to take advantage of a kid.
And the daughter also commenting.
I saw that it was the AI logo and I was like, that is fake. It's not real. I was just more shocked because how are you just going to take advantage of a kid like that, knowing that most people normally wouldn't recognize if they didn't see the charge.
So including the person who had the photo doctored, you have to really look for the logo, right? I mean, it's kind of translucent. It's in the lower corner. It's on an area of the car that appears to be chrome or similarly colored. So it very much blends in. You got to hunt to find it. But she found it, and it proved this thing to be inaccurate and a total farce. But I love the tip of if you're riding in a Lyft or an Uber, any kind of ride-share service, take a picture of that backseat before you get out of the car. That's what you got to do these days in 2026.
But that is so messed up.
It is.
That is so messed up that you would have to take the time to do that. And they're probably charging you still until that door closes, right? I would be livid because, number one, I would never cause a mess like this, certainly on purpose. If it happened on accident, you would immediately be like, oh my gosh, my soda spilled. Why do you have a soda in the back of a Lyft anyways? There are so many strange things about this, but I am so glad that they called this driver out. And that driver is no longer on the platform. They gave him the boot.
Absolutely. Looked like a milkshake and fries were spilt all over the back seat.
It looked like a disaster. You're right. It did look. It looked like 6 fries.
Was that it?
Six fries, and it doesn't even look like a Pepsi. It does look like a shake.
I thought it was a milkshake.
It looks like a disaster. And who gets this idea to say, you know what I'm going to do?
I know.
I didn't even know there was a damage fee either.
Well, $75.
It makes sense.
And apparently that goes into the Lyft, or at least a portion of that goes into the Lyft driver's ultimate income.
That's a couple. $75. I mean, depending on where you're going in Milwaukee, that can take you on a couple of rides. Not chump change.
It's 12:44.
Slide into your neighborhood Century Food Store to score the freshest produce, tastiest treats, and everything in between.
Now through Wednesday, save on 5 to 12 ounce Frito-Lay Lay's or kettle cooked potato chips or Tostitos Cantina tortilla chips, 2 for $4.50. 48 ounce selected varieties Cedar Crust Premium Ice Cream, $3.99. Fresh 80% lean ground beef, $4.49 a pound. Bicolor sweet corn, 6 for $3.
Safe.
What?
It's a long fly ball.
Every time I scan, what is happening?
A leaping grab at the wall.
Okay, fine, I'll play. Get a load of this watermelon. And here's the pitch.
Please wait for assistance.
Win Century Foods Ultimate Fan Experiences at Milwaukee baseball games. Throw out the first pitch, hold the ribbon for the Johnsonville Famous Sausage Race, or watch batting practice from the field.
Ooh, what do I do?
Complete the entry form in Century's weekly ad and return to the store.
Oh, no, what happened here?
Oh, self-checkout couldn't handle my heater. Here, I filled out my entry form. Gotta go. Have a great day.
I'll go get the mop.
Enter by August 5th.
For the brave men and women of our United States military, it's been said, some gave all, but all gave some. Here at Tabak Law, we honor these sacrifices by working to ensure veterans receive the benefits they're entitled to. I'm Jim Brzezinski, partner and VA-accredited representative at Tabak Law. If you're a vet and have been wrongfully denied or feel that your condition was not properly evaluated by the VA, visit tabakattorneys.com to set up a free evaluation. At Tabak Law, we fight for those who fought for us. Contact Tabak for the payback. tabakattorneys.com.
Looking for a getaway with fantastic outdoor recreation?
Sheboygan is a perfect destination. Hike or bike through Kohler Andre State Park and other local parks. There are all kinds of water sports, including surfing, paddleboarding, and kayaking. Sheboygan's walkability takes you to South Pier. Visit shops, play mini golf, and enjoy fine dining. Shop their farmers market and take in live music. It's the Malibu of the Midwest. Plan your getaway today at visitsheboygan.com.
WTMJ's Greg Matzik here. Bob Sorens is the reason Sorens Ford became home of the nice guys.
I used to cut Bob's hair. One time I was running very late. In the middle of his haircut, Bob says to me, "If you gotta leave now, it's okay. You can cut the other side when you get back from vacation."
109 years later, you can still feel that nice guy attitude from the Sorens family and the entire team at Sorens Ford in Brookfield. An exceptional buying and service experience. Sorens Ford on Capitol Drive. SOERENS.com.
All across Wisconsin, destination marketing organizations are working to ensure that tourism in our state and your local community is stronger than ever. Their work to drive visitation and enhance the visitor experience not only encourages travelers to discover our great state, it bolsters the economy, supports jobs, and it improves the quality of life for all Wisconsin residents. To learn more about what these great organizations are doing, visit destinationswisconsin.com.
Now, looking for the rain to move out here sometime in the 1 o'clock hour is what it looked like. Nothing heavy on the radar, but enough to keep things very cool here in downtown Milwaukee. Eventually, it moves out over Lake Michigan, and our high gets up to the very low 50s, struggling to reach 50 here in southeastern Wisconsin. Milwaukee specifically should be in the mid-50s once that rain moves out further inland. Nevertheless, temperatures much cooler than usual. Tomorrow's high 62 degrees. There is a chance for some rain in the day. As we get to the weekend, temperatures going to warm up a little bit as we get into Saturday, with temperatures expected to be in the mid-60s, mid-70s perhaps on Sunday. Could touch 80 degrees on Monday. Monday looks like the winner here of your long weekend. It's 44 degrees and cloudy in Milwaukee at 12:48. Well, today's WTMJ and Waterstone Bank Salute to Service honoree is Jermaine Perry, 25-year veteran of the Milwaukee Fire Department.
On Mother's Day last year, Perry responded to a deadly fire. The flames ripped through a 4-story apartment building.
An attempt to understand the unimaginable after that deadly apartment fire near 27th and Highland claimed 5 lives.
I'm Aaron Lipsky. I'm the fire chief of the Milwaukee Fire Department.
My name is Jermaine Perry. Most people call me JP. I am a heavy equipment operator for the Milwaukee Fire Department.
I nominated heavy equipment operator Jermaine Perry because there are just certain times when opportunity and preparation intersect at the exact right time. And as terrible as the Mother's Day fire was of 2025, there were a lot of really, really solid performances by Milwaukee firefighters. Our firefighter, Jermaine Perry, was piloting the very first ladder truck to the scene. There are many times you pull up to a fire building and it is visually spectacular just because of the flames issuing from the building, the smoke.
I can see the kids' eyes lit up from the 4th floor.
That was this scene times 100. The 3rd and 4th floor were pushing smoke from all visible sides of the building, numerous windows, and there were numerous people at windows already.
That scene there, that was probably the closest thing to a movie I've ever been in.
This presents a bit of a quandary because who do you grab first? And you make judgments about who to grab first based upon positioning, based upon where you believe the fire is, based upon the pressure and density and color of the smoke pushing out of the window behind him. I'll tell you what, that's a heck of a burden to bear, and some folks may crack under that pressure.
Firefighters from across the city quickly rushing here to 27th and Highland. The fire chief says when those first firefighters got here, they were far outmatched.
When I arrived on the scene, I positioned the rig in the way I could use the bucket aerial.
Positions that rig surgically. Now, this is not a small light vehicle. This is a heavy ladder truck, and knowing its capability, he uses this 100-foot ladder truck like as an extension of his own arm. And he uses the bucket on the end of that, and he goes up in there.
There's a family of 3, and there's a kid, a teenager, and an adult female. First thing I did was I locked eyes on the kid. I almost got tunnel vision, but I knew that I was going to go get him. The sheer terror that the kid had as I was grabbing him But once I got him into the bucket, you could just see that he felt, all right, I'm okay now. Got those 3 individuals out, brought them down to safety.
On this terrible day with those 5 losses, because that's a hard thing for firefighters, I thought it was important to remember that we had 71 hands-on rescues. He executed it flawlessly.
After the event, days, weeks, months later, do you ever meet any of those people that you saved?
No.
You think about them?
I do think about them, but never met them.
Why did you decide to become a firefighter? What was it about this job, this profession, that you said, that's my story?
My father was a firefighter, and I have a brother in the job.
Some people would say, I don't want to do that because I've seen them do it, but that's not you.
Well, that's actually what I said initially. And my dad said, well, why don't you just give it a shot? And I gave it a shot, and I haven't looked back since.
When you think about the idea of a salute to service, what does being selected as one of those 5 honorees mean to you?
I'm honored, and I am 100% humbled.
Salute to service means doing the right thing when nobody's watching, when there is no hope or desire of recognition. H.E.O. Perry, he does the right thing day in and day out. He does this not out of a sense of heroism. He does this because he knows his training and his skills can best be put to work where the need is the greatest. And thank goodness for it, because his service is the best you're going to find. What a better salute to service than somebody who has spent all of their time doing the right thing and doing the hard, somewhat boring, repetitive preparation that on this day saved so many lives.
When I went into work, it was just another day, another shift for me. We have an awesome leader in Chief Lipsky here, and knowing what he used to be like in the firehouse, it's cool to actually let him know that we have it, pushing the culture forward, high level.
Special thanks to Waterstone Bank, our Salute to Service presenting partner, and Mission 94 for their continued commitment to honoring our first responders, and of course to JP, Jermaine Perry, for being one of the recipients. And if you want to listen back to some of these and very well pieced together stories on all of our Salute to Service winners here, check out the Point Taken podcast page at WTMJ.com. You'll hear the story of Racine firefighter Noah Curtis, the Milwaukee Canine officer Sean Berger, who was honored yesterday, Wauwatosa police officer Jamie Mose, and then today's Jermaine Perry. Of course, we got another one tomorrow to wrap up the week. These have been incredibly well produced. These are touching stories of real-life heroes in our community.
Yeah, just fantastic. Can't wait to hear tomorrow's.
It's 12:54 on WTMJ, Wisconsin's Midday News podcast. Our page is available for you wherever you get your podcasts. Built by Siding Unlimited. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. And if you'd like to hop into our studio, you can do that as well. We are live and streaming on YouTube. Come into our show, quite literally, into the studio. Check out our YouTube page and channel, Wisconsin's Midday News.
Day after day, year after year, the heavy lifting, the repetitive motion, and now your body feels it. Your back, your knees, your quality of life.
At Access Legal, we stand up for people worn down by work.
Workers' comp is our sole focus, and our team has recovered more than $35 million for Wisconsin workers. From sudden accidents to pain that builds over years of hard work, we're dedicated to fighting for the benefits you're entitled to. If you've been worn down by work, contact Access Legal for a risk-free consultation.
Search AXIS Legal today.
Happening now, it's the Memorial Day sale at Steinhoffel's. And honestly, it's the perfect time to get your home ready for summer. Save up to 30% store-wide. Plus, get amazing deals like a Beauty Sleep mattress for just $399. Plus, we're offering Steinhoffel's 18-month 0% financing, so your dream space is well within reach. Head into Steinhoffel's. Tell them Jessica Ty told you to come. Or shop anytime at steinhoffels.com. Don't miss the Memorial Day sale at Steinhoffel's, Wisconsin's furniture and mattress leader.
Picture this, a perfect summer evening, great friends, and dinner on the patio overlooking a beautiful course. That's Racine Country Club. More than golf, it's a place to relax, gather, and belong. A new energy is here, and you're invited to experience it. From great food to unforgettable events, it's a lifestyle built around community. Whether it's a quick 9 after work, dinner with friends, or a weekend with family, Racine Country Club offers something for everyone, year-round. Discover what's new at Racine Country Club. Visit RacineCountryClub.com.
Hey everybody, Debbie Lozica here for Comfort Awnings. This year, reclaim your outdoor space like I did. Having the option to extend our awning when that summer sun gets too hot or when it's raining has been a game changer, and it allows my dogs, husband, and I to enjoy our patio every season. Right now, get up to $500 off any awning or screen. That's right, get 10% off up to $500 until the end of the month. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com to learn more.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Here's a mistake you don't want to make on the radio, regardless of the country you live in. A UK radio station mistakenly announced that King Charles had died. CBS News correspondent Michael Wallace.
Radio Caroline, which broadcasts across parts of England, made the blunder.
This is Radio Caroline. His Majesty King Charles III has passed away. As a mark of respect, we will now be playing suitable continuous music until further notice.
God Save the King played, followed by 15 minutes of silence. The station's manager says a computer error triggered the station's Death of a Monarch protocol. Radio Caroline issued an on-air apology. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Whoops, sorry about that. Oh, so he's good? He's good, right?
That's rough.
It was in the late 90s that Reuters had reported that Bob Hope had passed away, erroneously.
Oh, I don't remember that.
It's like, where does this come from? And then there was reports later in the day, it's like, no, he's eating breakfast. Like, what? He's fine. Bob Hope later passed away after a long and fulfilling life. But yeah, Reuters made that mistake. I think it was 1998, 1999, somewhere around there. But it was a goof up.
Well, sometimes you have television stations or radio stations that will put together a package or a story, so to speak, because you know that there is someone pivotal and critical and just monumental in your community who is older, and you want to have that ready to go. And I could see something like that accidentally playing. But yeah, to actually physically announce that, where did that come from?
Whoops.
Ouch.
It's 12:58.
Save big money at Menards. Menards is your paint destination, offering the selection you need to refresh your home in one weekend. Pristine is Dutch Boy's most durable exterior paint and primer in one. It withstands the harshest weather conditions, and with its rain rinse technology, it will keep your home looking beautiful year-round. Save big money on Pristine exterior paint. Plus, view our weekly flyer on Menards.com and start your painting project today.
Save big money at Menards.
It's WTMJ's Julia Fellow for Sweet Talks Medical Spa in Menominee Falls. If you're looking for expert care without that cold clinical vibe, Sweet Talks is where beauty, wellness, and self-confidence comes together in such a fun, welcoming space. Sweet Talks offers injectables, advanced skin treatments, even wellness services like weight loss or hormone optimization. Sweet Talks provides a comprehensive consultation designed just for you. Learn more at sweettalks.com.
Recently, a seller that unfortunately ended up choosing another agent called me. She said she made a mistake, and what she was expressing to me sounded like she kind of was bullied into signing with him. Is it typical? Not always, but it will never happen when you hire a Century 21 Benefit Realty agent. I want our agents to be able to look in the mirror and say, I'd want to work with me, not because they're good at saying what you want to hear or offer the lowest commission, but because of trust. Because if you're not feeling that from your agent, that's a problem, and I don't want that. At 1.9% on the listing side of your sale, with our commission capped at $19,000, Century 21 Benefit Realty leads with a very fair and transparent commission structure with maximum marketing that can get your home sold fast and for the best price. And saving money matters, but working with someone who will tell you exactly what you need to know up front, that creates trust. And that matters too. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Trusted, relevant, locally owned, locally programmed. We are Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio 620, WTMJ Milwaukee.
It's 1 o'clock. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Thursday, May 21st. Your top stories: students being held inside Lannon Elementary.
I'm Jessica Ty. Both parties not happy about the proposed anti-weaponization fund.
Sprinkles here in Milwaukee for some of us in the Milwaukee County area for the next half hour or so. It's cloudy right now. It's 44 degrees, on our way up to 52, overnight low of 45. Coming up on 101 from the WTMJ, breaking news from a developing story where students are being held indoors at Lannon Elementary School in Waukesha County. School officials say it's in response to a law enforcement situation happening off of school property. All students and staff are safe. There is a heavy law enforcement presence in the area. If you're trying to pick up your child from school today, you'll have to confront with the boundaries that are set up and maybe seek an alternate route. We are working on getting more details what's happening in Lannon.
Outrage on both sides of the aisle this afternoon over President Trump's $1.8 billion compensation fund for anyone who claims they've been wronged by the Biden administration. The so-called anti-weaponization fund, made up of taxpayer dollars, is not sitting well with Republicans like outgoing Senator Tom Tillis. ABC's Catherine Falders explains what exactly has so many people angry.
He's calling on his Republican colleagues to speak up against what he called, quote, a payout pot for punks. He says these people don't deserve restitution. Many of them deserve to be in prison. The reality is the government and the acting attorney general has not ruled out that they will pay people who were violent against police officers on January 6th. And they specifically aren't saying that there will be parameters set up around that. So, yes, that has alarmed some Republicans.
2 Capitol Police officers who survived January 6 are suing over those proposed payouts.
President Trump says it looks like he'll be the president that intervenes in Cuba. CBS's Cammie McCormick explains.
Before heading to Europe for a NATO meeting, Secretary of State Marco Rubio said the administration hopes for a negotiated settlement with Cuba, but it's unlikely as of now.
The president's preference is always a negotiated agreement that's peaceful. That's always our preference. That remains our preference with Cuba. I'm just being honest with you. You know, the likelihood of that happening, given who we're dealing with right now, is not high.
Rubio said over the years, Cuban authorities have just waited the U.S. out, but that won't happen this time.
Yesterday, federal prosecutors charged former Cuban President Raul Castro with ordering the 1996 shoot-down of civilian planes.
A 5-alarm fire leaves extensive damage in Milwaukee's north side. Flames shot out of a vacant commercial warehouse building near 32nd and Hampton last night. Milwaukee Fire Chief Aaron Lipsky.
We don't have a cost yet. The building was vacant, so it's difficult to say. But the building is likely a total loss.
Lipsky says no firefighters were hurt.
Busy roads and crowded lakes are expected across Wisconsin this Memorial Day weekend. The Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources says waterways across the state are expected to be busy quickly as the summer boating season begins. Wisconsin Boating Law Administrator Lieutenant John Sinclair tells WTMJ.
Life jackets, or what we call personal flotation devices, are required to have for every person on board your boat, and they have to be the appropriate size. If you're a passenger on a boat, you should be asking that boat operator, where is the safety equipment on this boat, so that you're aware where those PFDs or life jackets are and what other safety equipment that boat has on board.
Lieutenant Sinclair is also reminding boaters must have a valid driver's license while operating on lakes. Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. A lot of green now this afternoon. Quite a change from an hour ago. The Dow is up nearly 300 points at 50,300. The NASDAQ is up about 90 points at 26,361. And the S&P up about 25 this afternoon at 74.55. For sound financial advice from a fee-only fiduciary, it's Annex Wealth Management. Go to annexwealth.com and click on the Get Started button today.
How about those Brewers? Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, East 104.
You've probably heard all those ads for life insurance. Just a few dollars a day, apply online in minutes, no medical exam. Simple, easy, and cheap, right? Now you're thinking, maybe I should get a quote. Well, smart thinking. Everyone should have life insurance. But here's what they don't tell you. Those few dollars a day rates, they're for young people in perfect health. That's why everyone calls Big Lou the 50 to 60-year-old not-so-perfect candidate. Like you. You take prescription meds and you're overweight. Winner, winner, fried chicken dinner. Well, Big Lou works with life insurance companies that want people like you with no surprises after you apply. In fact, if you're a 50-year-old guy with a few health glitches, Lou could probably find you $1 million of term life coverage for about $200 a month. So yeah, you need life insurance. But unless you're young and healthy, you gotta call Big Lou because he's like you, older, heavier, and on meds too. Get a quote right now at 800-444-9336, 800-444-9336, or biglou.com.
Wisconsin weather doesn't ease into spring. It keeps you guessing. That's why your windows and doors need to handle everything. At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, we build for year-round comfort. Get the look you want for the home you love with 0% financing options available. So you can upgrade now and pay over time. Plus, enjoy a free in-home consultation, expert installation, and a 10-year limited warranty. Schedule today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 5/31/2026.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano talking with Dr. Mike Nolte at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Doc, a lot of people are hesitant to visit a surgeon for spine care.
The good news is that the vast majority of patients that I see and the majority of conditions that I can see can be successfully treated without surgery. And I don't want patients to think that just because you're seeing a spine surgeon means that you're going to be signing up for surgery. We talk about in my clinic kind of a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C.
Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. orthowisconsin.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. The Brewers begin the day a game and a half ahead of the Cubs and Cardinals for first place in the NL Central. Brewers president of baseball operations Matt Arnold is glowing after a 3-game sweep of the Cubs, but admits
they're not going anywhere. They're a good team. I mean, you don't win 10 games in a row on accident in this league, and they've done that twice already this season. So they're a formidable team, and but again, a credit to our guys and for playing the brand of baseball that we play and winning in a very tough environment.
No game for the Brewers today. 3-game series with the Dodgers begins Friday night in Milwaukee. The NBA draft begins just over a month from today. The Bucks currently own the 10th pick, but there's no guarantee they'll keep it, according to General Manager John Horst.
An opportunity to add a player to our roster that can have a big impact, and hopefully a big impact quickly. It's also an opportunity to have an asset that we can consider using to build the team in other ways.
On the court tonight, the Cavaliers take on the Knicks in Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals.
Let's get you an update on the roads right now with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. Right off the bat, I wanted to let you know I-43 in Waukesha County still closed right now between Highway 83 and Highway 164. That's in Waukesha County. There was a deadly crash involving 2 semis earlier this morning near Big Bend, and that area is still closed. Avoid it if you can. I-43 closed between Highway 83 and Highway 164. We also have a new crash I want to let you know about. This one, it looks like technically it's right in the middle. It's on the Milwaukee-Waukesha County line. 145 south to 4145 south at 145. Right shoulder is blocked due to a crash. I don't see much of a backup right now, but I do want to let you know the right shoulder is blocked because of it. That's a brand new one that popped up just minutes ago.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. Milwaukee Mattress, where top quality mattresses are priced hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Found exclusively at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
Well, rain should be moving out of the area before too long. Nothing heavy, but a little bit of green on the radar here in Milwaukee. Eventually, we'll get up to 50 for a high today, 55 your high inland. Overnight should be cloudy with temperatures somewhere in the mid to upper 40s. Tomorrow's high 62 with a chance of rain. As we get into the weekend, the conditions improve a little bit. Saturday, chance of morning showers, partly cloudy, high 62. Sunday, partly cloudy, slight chance of rain, high 74. Memorial Day looks great, mostly sunny with a high of 76. It's 45 degrees and cloudy in Milwaukee at 109.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
Another big event tonight for the Brewers. They won't be on the field, but they'll likely be at Landmark Credit Union Live for the annual Christian Yelich charity event, the home plate charity event taking place now in its 4th year. Should be a great night of music and comedy. Charlie Barons is hosting it. We talked to Milwaukee celebrity chef Adam Pavlak, who's providing food for the VIP reception. So if you're looking for the Brewers tonight, don't look at American Family Field. Look in the Deer District.
They've got a night off. They'll still be on, though, in a way. It's great every single year. It's going to be a blast if you're going.
And now it's time for 3 Big Things on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number 1, mortgage rates climb to the highest level in nearly 9 months. This drives up borrowing costs for home buyers during what's traditionally the housing market's busiest time of the year. Today, Freddie Mac announced the average 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is now up to 6.51%. That is better than a year ago, though. Mortgage rates are influenced by several factors, from the Federal Reserve's interest rate policy decisions to bond market investors' expectations for the economy and inflation.
On number 2, Milwaukee Mitchell International Airport will receive an additional $8 million in federal funding towards the continued development of Concourse E. This is up and running now. They've started the construction on this. It's a new state-of-the-art international concourse that can also be used for domestic flights, and it will be. The funding is part of the Federal Aviation Administration's Airport Terminals program. So add the $8 million announced today to the $13.5 million in federal grant funding that was announced last year. Math majors, do your thing. $21.5 million of federal support for this project. As for the remainder of the project, that'll be funded through airport revenue and bonding.
We expect that project to be done by late 2027. So we do have international flights, especially in the wintertime, from here to Mexico and the Caribbean. And, the best way for us to try to get more international flights is for more people to fly through our airport. So we really need to support our hometown airport to get more air service from the airlines.
That's Communications Director Harold Mester. The redeveloped concourse will replace the existing international arrivals terminal. That's currently a separate building from the main airport terminal. That's always a little wonky in there. It's you're kind of going in and out and back in again sometimes at the airport. So they're just trying to make it a little bit more passenger friendly.
Number 3, you thought the Ferris wheel at State Fair was big before? Well, get ready for this. Today, Wisconsin State Fair announced the America 250 wheel will make its Midwest debut right here with us this August. The ride commemorates America's 250th birthday and the 175th Wisconsin State Fair. This will be the biggest wheel ever at State Fair Park. It's 230 feet tall. Imagine that. Imagine a 20-story building.
Oh, my gosh.
Sitting in the middle of State Fair Park. It's nearly as tall as the Wisconsin Capitol Dome. The massive Ferris wheel has 45 gondolas, and each one highlights a U.S. president. So, Greg, I'm thinking there are going to be people waiting in line going, I want to get that one.
I want Polk.
Right?
Give me Polk.
It's like when you want the yellow one on the Sky Glider. I would always do that as a kid. And even as an adult now, I'm like, ooh, I want the blue one, or I want the yellow one. Or now that, like at Summerfest, usually Milwaukee Airport is sponsoring it, so you're like, I want the one that's going to Denver.
Yeah, right.
I can just visualize that. So if you land George Washington, that's basically the VIP gondola. Or give me Lincoln. Tall president, tall wheel. It just works.
Okay.
Well, we're going to think about this more. We're going to come back to it.
Which president what carrier would you like to have named after a president?
Let's do that. Let's pick, Greg, and we'll revisit this in our next hour. By the way, State Fair this year runs August 6th through the 16th. Mark it on your calendars because we'll see you there.
Teddy Roosevelt might be fine, my clubhouse leader here.
Okay, your pick. You can mull it for a little bit longer. Coming up, it started with family dessert traditions and late-night ice cream memories. Now this Wisconsin-connected Boozy Custard company is shipping coast to coast.
WTMJ's John Mercure here for Griffin Ford in Waukesha, and they've got something big going on. It's the Ford American Value. For American Value's employee pricing event. Right now, you pay what employees pay. That's employee pricing on a huge selection of new Fords. And here's what really stands out. Griffin Ford has one of the largest inventories in Wisconsin, so you're not settling. You're picking exactly what you want. Right now, they've got about 12 Ford Escapes left, starting under $30,000. 51 brand new 2026 Ford Explorers. That's the vehicle I have. All-wheel drive, in stock, starting under $40,000. I bought mine at Griffin. And just in time for Memorial Day weekend, Griffin Ford has more than 50 2025 and 2026 Ford F-150s in stock. Savings of up to $15,000 off when you're ready to hit the road. If you've been thinking about a new truck or SUV, this is the time. Stop into Griffin Ford on Main Street in Waukesha or shop online at griffinford.com. It's Griffin.
On Memorial Day, we take a moment to remember those who gave the ultimate sacrifice, brave Americans who served. They shouldn't be denied benefits or have disability claims incorrectly evaluated by the VA. If you are one of those vets, call Tayback for the payback. It's taybackattorneys.com.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scaffidi. Have you listened to WTMJ Outdoors yet? Well, what are you waiting for? Every Saturday at 2 right here on 620 WTMJ. Stories of the outdoors of Wisconsin and beyond as we celebrate everything and recreation. This week and every week on WTMJ Outdoors, you have an idea for a guest or a topic, send them my way. Easy way to do that. Email me at steve.scaffidi@WTMJ.com. We'll get them on.
It's WTMJ Outdoors, presented by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
Rain should be clearing out pretty soon if it's not already dry in your area. Temperatures topping out about 50 degrees downtown. A little warmer inland up to 55. Overnight low in the upper 40s. Cloudy conditions. Tomorrow's high 64 inland. A little cooler near the lake with a chance of rain. A similar situation here on Saturday. Sunday and Monday look like we improve. Temperatures climbing into the mid to upper 70s. It's more the sun on Monday than on Sunday, where there is a chance of rain in the forecast. It's 46 degrees and cloudy in Milwaukee at 116.
What started at farmers markets, pop-ups, and grocery store demos is now going nationwide. A Boozy frozen custard brand with Wisconsin ties just landed a big partnership to ship to people across the country. Two women created creme de la cour from childhood memories. You're really going to enjoy this. Co-founder and Milwaukee native Elizabeth Nash joins us live in the studio. First off, congrats.
Thank you so much. We're really excited to be here.
So pumped for you guys because I have tried your ice cream. Actually, right out here, too. It was at a night market when I tried it. And it was the horchata one.
The vanilla bean horchata, yes, with real vanilla bean, a little bit of cinnamon.
Oh, it was so good. But
thank you.
First, before we get into this big national deal, can we start with those childhood memories? Because I think this is so interesting. You basically turn nostalgia into a national business now. Both of you grew up with these very specific dessert traditions. Mm-hmm. At what point did you and your business partner say, we could make this a business? And what were those memories?
Yes. So I grew up with wonderful family friends who would throw the dinner party of all dinner parties. Everyone was invited. You know, think low lighting, wonderful food. Everyone stays until well past midnight.
Fancy.
Yes. And they're European. And so for dessert, what she would serve was this lemon sorbet with a shot of vodka on the side that you would pour over and then eat. And yes, I was having that when I was not 21 yet. And I just absolutely loved that. And I loved the feeling of the kind of dinner party, and that's what I wanted to recreate. And then I met my co-founder, Nisreen Galloway, in an entrepreneurial class, and she also had similar memories with her dad creating this everything but the kitchen sink sundae with, of course, shot of alcohol poured over it.
So they were very different. Very different. Yours was kind of fancy. That one was everything but the sink.
Classy meets fun.
But what a blast. So then at some point, you guys come together and say, we could do something with this. How did that happen?
Yeah, so we met in an entrepreneurial class. We were both very interested in the food world. I came up with this idea while I was in college, a liquor, and well, actually, it was alcoholic ice cream back then, just ice cream, not the frozen custard. And Nisreen was also in the food world. And so, and she I needed her on my team. She's the smartest person in any room. Wish she could be here right now. And so we got together and we both knew we had to be entrepreneurs. We both knew it had to be food. And I had this idea of Boozy ice cream, and then coming from Wisconsin, it quickly became frozen custard. It had to be frozen custard. I realized that.
Way to localize it, right? A very important step here. So how does it work? Because, well, alcohol doesn't really freeze, right? But of course you want this. And custard, I guess, is a little softer than traditional ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
Does that help with that combination process?
It does. It really adds to that creamy texture, and that's the best part about our pints. You pull them out of the freezer, you can put a spoon in it right away. You do not have to wait for it to get soft for 10, 15 minutes. You can eat it right out of the freezer.
So at what point... Because as I mentioned, the first time I had ever had it was right out here at the night market. I know you guys have been at different markets. You've been in the local grocery stores here. Many people who are listening will know the brand. Mm-hmm. But now this is a big deal. You're going beyond the local shops and the markets here. So how did it come to be that you got this deal to ultimately go national? So now people across the country can buy it.
Right. So we were working on our own to ship directly to states, but every single state has their own idea when it comes to liquor laws. So we were just plowing through one at a time, getting the green light to ship to certain states. And so we knew we wanted to go nationwide, and we couldn't do it just on our own. So we looked at Gold Belly, and that happened very quickly. We were able to be greenlit for Gold Belly, and now we can ship nationwide. This just happened. We are so excited. So you can get pints delivered directly to your doorstep on dry ice. They're in perfect condition.
So how much does this ultimately change kind of your lives and your business when you get a deal like this?
Well, we're still both in the kitchen. We're both creating a lot of these flavors, especially our seasonal flavors. We've got this twisted apple pie coming out for 4th of July, and that has a cinnamon whiskey in it and real apple pie. So we're creating these seasonal flavors. So we're still in the kitchen, but now we're also packaging up these boxes of the liquor-infused frozen custard. We are handling the dry ice. I'm here to tell you, I can't really feel my fingertips.
Yeah, that is
They're
okay.
numb.
And I'm sure the test market phase must be very interesting. And Jessica and I would like to be involved in that if you don't mind.
Oh, yes, please.
Are there complications with, and I don't know if this is a goal of yours, but getting into retail, does that make sense for you? Or because that there is alcohol involved, that makes it a really tricky thing?
No, you're hitting the nail on the head. At first, that was our original plan, was to go retail nationwide. But you can imagine with the liquor laws here in Wisconsin, we could sell it directly in the ice cream aisle, and you just had to show your ID at checkout. And but going nationwide through retail was much more difficult. So this way we can how can I put it? We can handle the marketing. We can handle what the product looks like. We can ship it directly to customers. We can handle that entire experience.
You sold your first pint at Cathedral Square.
Yes,
at the
Cathedral
market
Square,
there. It's
yes.
a market that a lot of people love. What was it like? I think that was back in 2021.
Oh gosh, was it that long ago?
What was that like to kind of, because I know there are probably some people right now listening who want to do not necessarily boozy ice cream, but that have an idea that also they're local, they're here in Milwaukee or southeastern Wisconsin or maybe across the state. They've got a great idea. They want to start a business. Because I feel like your story from back then might spark a little something. What do you remember then about just kind of grinding and getting going?
Oh, farmers markets are definitely the way to go. And we have wonderful markets here in Milwaukee. We've got the South Shore Market, the Oak Creek Market, the West Allis Market, of course, Cathedral Square. That is the way to go. You can get in front of your public. You can talk to customers. You can brainstorm with them. You can ask them questions, and you get direct feedback. I highly recommend farmers markets.
Is that still a good avenue? Kind of like back to your roots sort of thing, right? Where you're still meeting the community where they are at. The shipping is, I'm sure that's groundbreaking for you. It's got to take a lot of the hassle out of it, partnering with Gold Belly. But, your roots are through these channels and meeting the community where they're at. Is that still an important strategy for you?
Yes, and we love also using regional spirits as well. Up to this point, we've used a lot of local spirits, such as Central Standard Distillery, Twisted Path Distillery, and that's very important for us as we grow, is to use regional spirits who are really connected with the community and who make wonderful spirits.
So tell us a little bit about Gold Belly, because if you're a foodie, I think people might know it, but if you're not, it's kind of gotten pretty big, and that's how you're making this work nationwide.
Gold Belly is the place to go if you want something special. If a restaurant that you like is on Gold Belly, you can order food directly from them and have it show up at your doorstep, which is really exciting. And it's also the place to get really exciting things for celebrations, and creme de la cour really fits right there. We're perfect for celebrations, birthdays, anniversaries, Father's Day. And we have all these collections online. You can build your own box, 3, 4, 6 pints. You can get a birthday box. Or, of course, our Father's Day box has 3 pints of our chocolate brownie bourbon.
Okay, real quickly here. We've got 20 seconds left. Rip off some of those favorite flavors that right now some people are going to say, oh, yeah, I got to try that.
Vanilla bean horchata, which you've tried, chocolate brownie bourbon with fudgy brownie pieces in it. My personal favorite, an espresso martini with coffee, vodka, and chocolate-covered espresso beans. You can go online Creme de la Cour's website is cheerstoicecream.com, and you can order through Goldbelly, and you can look at all of our collections, and you can actually place that order today for Father's Day. Just check that off your list, and then you can
Cheers
celebrate.
to ice cream.
Looks delicious.
How appropriate is that? I love it. Well, congrats again. I think it's so great. I really wanted to have you on because I thought it's so nice to have a company with local roots that started small and was grinding at the Cathedral Square Farmers Market, and now you are selling your product nationwide. So it's a lot to be proud of.
Thank you so much. It's been a lot of fun work, and we're so proud of where we're headed next.
That is great. That's Elizabeth Nash, co-founder of Creme de la Cour. It's 1:25. Coming up next, it's your local news and top national headlines.
Why settle for just a job when you can have a career in the exciting automobile industry? The Auto Dealers Association of Mega Milwaukee new car dealer members have service technicians, sales, administrative, and management positions available now. The first word in career is car, and one of the best places to find a great career opportunity is at an Adam member new car dealer.
For current great paying job opportunities, visit adam.com/jobs. That's ADAMM.com/jobs.
For 70 years, Geis has been the trusted garage authority in the state of Wisconsin. Greg Matzik here. If you got a busted garage door, don't let it get you down. Call my friends at Geis today. Impeccable inventory, incredible people, and wonderful brands like CHI and LiftMaster, all in that beautiful showroom right off Barker Road in Brookfield. They also have doors and openers for every budget. They'll even go custom for you. Whatever it is to meet your exact needs, Geis has got you taken care of from A to Z. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, check out GeisDoors.com. Don't think twice. Call Geis. It's GeisDoors.com.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we know you do things your way. So why shop the same retail giants as everyone else when you can easily find the products you need and trust at unbeatable prices? Right now, get Spring Farm savings on Krylon Farm and Implement Paints, 30% off. 10% off all Better-Built truck, tool, and job site boxes and liquid transfer tanks. And new at Blaine's, select Redmond Rock horse supplements are 15% off. Find value on the things you value. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Are you hosting an event, launching something new, wanting to get the word out about your part of the state? Be a featured guest on the WTMJ Experience Wisconsin show. Share your story, promote your event or business, and connect with fans all across the state. I'm John Merkier. I'd love to interview you. We reach listeners from Milwaukee to Madison, Green Bay to La Crosse, everywhere in between. It's Experience Wisconsin. Ready to shine a spotlight on your business or company? Email me, john@WTMJ.com for more information. john@WTMJ.com.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. It's time, isn't it, to update the look of your house, but you don't even know where to begin. First step, TriCountyContractingWI.com. Yes, Tri-County's been in the roof business for 47 years, but Chuck, Tony, and the crew also handle siding. They've got design consultants that can help you. No exterior contractor will do what Tri-County Contracting can do for you. TriCountyContractingWI.com. It's siding that'll make you love your home again.
Politics, work, daily stressors. Let's take a break from all that and get centered. Christ-centered. I'm Pastor Tim Butker. Join me each week for Christian Crusaders, a broadcast that highlights the gospel, the good news of Jesus, and our belief in the authoritative Word of God. Christ-centered, gospel-oriented, Bible-based Christian Crusaders. Please join us Sundays at 6 a.m. on WTMJ. We'd love to have you worship with us.
Don't miss Pabst Theater Group's latest announced shows coming to Milwaukee late summer and fall 2026. The Empress of Soul and 7-time Grammy Award winner Gladys Knight will perform at Pabst Theater August 20th. Lead singer and co-founder of British invasion band The Who, Roger Daltrey, will be at Riverside Theater September 15th. Tickets for both shows are available at PabstTheaterGroup.com. Tune in to What's on Tap with Sandy Max this Thursday, May 21st, starting at 6 to score a pair of tickets to each show.
May is here, which means it's officially Don't Blame Us When the AC Breaks month.
Is that why you're wearing an ice pack as a hat?
Efficiency, Jason.
For everyone else, there's Beyondification, the precision AC tune-up that goes beyond the basics to keep you cool and your bills low.
And it's only $69 all through May. A total bargain before the summer sweatfest begins.
Exactly. Once June hits, the only thing lower than your energy bill will be Tracy's dignity in this ice hat.
Get Beyondified. Call Capital today.
Call CapitalCares.com.
It's 1:30. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Thursday, May 21st. Your top story, looking for the suspect tied to car fires.
I'm Jessica Ty. A school board controversy turns into a packed concert.
Partly cloudy the rest of the way. Chance of sprinkles, high 52. Cloudy tonight, low 45. More clouds on Friday. Chance of rain late, 64 your high. Inland, 60 closer to Lake Michigan. Get back into the 70s here on Sunday and Monday. Saturday's high going to be in the mid-60s.
ABC News, I'm Chuck Sievertson. A measure to force President Trump to end the Iran war is scheduled to be brought up for a vote by House lawmakers today. Inside the Oval Office today, the president was asked about Iran's enriched uranium.
We get the highly enriched. We will get it. We don't need it. We don't want it. We'll probably destroy it after we get it, but we're not going to let them have it.
Repeating what he has said for many weeks, that the war in Iran would end soon. On the outrage by fellow Republicans in Congress at his intention to have the Justice Department set up a fund to pay people claiming they were harmed by the government, potentially including rioters who attacked police at the Capitol January 6, 2021.
Are you losing control of the Senate Republicans?
I don't know. I really don't know. I can tell you I only do what's right.
Federal weather experts with the agency NOAA announcing Atlantic hurricane season predictions, a 55% chance of being below normal. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 1:31. A suspect is on the run following a string of car fires overnight in Milwaukee's east side. The suspected arsonist left 3 vehicles in charred ruins near Oakland and Bellevue just after 1 this morning. No one was inside any of the vehicles at the time of those fires.
A safety concern prompts an evacuation at a Cudahy Elementary School. Staff members at J.E. Jones Elementary were alerted to bomb threats this morning. As a precaution, students and staff were evacuated and access to the school was restricted. Parents have now been reunited with their kids. District staff is working with emergency responders.
A man charged with sexually assaulting a Marquette University student faces new charges in a separate case.
Tedrick Boone is accused of breaking into a home and trying to kill a person with a knife near 17th and Highland back in November. A criminal complaint says Boone tried to restrain a woman in her bed, then stabbed the woman's boyfriend at least 6 times, then began fighting with another resident. He faces 5 felonies, including attempted homicide and reckless injury. This case is just 3 blocks away from an alley where Boone allegedly sexually assaulted a Marquette student several months later. He's due back in court for both cases today. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
A school board controversy results in a packed concert in Watertown. Community members filled Emmanuel Evangelical Lutheran Church last night after a song tied to LGBTQ history was removed from a high school band concert. SAC's section leader of the Watertown Wind Symphony, Charles Succo, spoke at the event.
In the past week and a half, I have seen things from this town that I never would have expected. And while the situation it's born from is negative, the support I have witnessed firsthand is nothing short of spectacular. The walkouts, the meetings, the support pouring in from across the country and the globe. All of it means so much to me and to us. All of that goes to show how powerful empathy truly is.
The song's composer, Omar Thomas, traveled to Watertown to conduct the performance himself.
And growing road closures are frustrating some business owners on Milwaukee's south side. The northbound side of 35th Street will be closed from Scott to National due to construction beginning next week. Local shop owners like Jose Lozoya Jr. say ongoing road work is already hurting businesses in the area.
It's really affecting just sales in general because people are scared to come over here because there's so much waiting in traffic.
Milwaukee leaders are calling out the DOT, saying more communication is needed before road work begins, and it appears to be everywhere right now.
Find out who's glowing after a 3-game sweep of the Cubs. But aren't we all? Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 1:34.
The Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra invites you to embark on a special journey across American music when it presents America the Beautiful, Patriotic Pops, May 22nd through the 24th at the Bradley Symphony Center. Celebrated trumpeter, vocalist, and principal pops conductor Byron Stripling will be your charismatic guide across a wide variety of genres that help define America's musical language, from folk songs and spirituals such as Shenandoah and Amazing Grace, to patriotic staples such as Stars and Stripes Forever, plus hits from the worlds of ragtime, jazz, and even R&B. Come, celebrate America 250 with America the Beautiful, Patriotic Pops, May 22nd through the 24th only. Visit MSO.org for tickets and more information, or call the box office now at 414-291-7605.
When the call comes in, first responders do not hesitate. They act with courage, discipline, and purpose. It's a mindset built on training, trust, and a commitment to something bigger than themselves. At Mission 94 Firearms Education Center, the same mindset drives everything they do. As a veteran-owned organization, Mission 94 is built on respect for those who serve and protect our communities every single day. Through immersive training, state-of-the-art facilities, and world-class instruction, they help everyday individuals build confidence, awareness, and readiness. Just Google Mission 94.
It happens without warning. And when it's a truck crash, everything changes. Call Gruber Law Offices and let us protect your rights. We've got the knowledge, skills, and resources to win. One call, that's all.
Tell them you want hardwood, but make it affordable. Vince Vitrano here for Hunt's Flooring. A lot of people think hardwood flooring is out of their price range. We did. Then we visited Hunt's Flooring in Greenfield. Right there on Highway 100, Hunt's has a large inventory of hardwood in stock at discounted pricing. We just got Phil to show us around, see what he had priced to move, and we locked in a great deal. We were able to do our entire first floor. These are in-store deals only, not something you find online. Stop in, take a look, tell them Vinny sent you to Hunt's Flooring in Greenfield.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers begin the day a game and a half ahead of the Cubs and Cardinals for first place in the NL Central. Brewers president of baseball operations Matt Arnold glowing after a 3-game sweep of the Cubs, but admits
they're not going anywhere. They're a good team. I mean, you don't win 10 games in a row on accident in this league, and they've done that twice already this season. So they're a formidable team, and but again, a credit to our guys and for playing the brand of baseball that we play and winning in a very tough environment.
No game for the Brewers today. A 3-game series with the Dodgers begins Friday night in Milwaukee. NBA draft begins just over a month from today. The Bucks currently own the 10th pick. No guarantee they'll keep it. However,
an opportunity to add a player to our roster that can have a big impact and hopefully a big impact quickly. It's also an opportunity to have an asset that we can consider using to build the team in other ways.
Bucks GM John Horst on the court tonight. The Cavaliers take on the Knicks in Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals.
Let's get you an update on the roads right now with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. I still want to lead with this because, number one, a lot of you had to deal with this mess this morning. And also, you're thinking about the families right now. We still have a closure on I-43 in Waukesha County between Highway 83 and Highway 164. That's in Waukesha County near Big Bend. There was a crash involving 2 semis earlier this morning. One semi rear-ended another, killing one of the drivers right there at the scene. That area is still closed. Once again, that's I-43 between Highway 83 and Highway 164 in Waukesha County. So if you're headed that way, please do take an alternate route. As far as anything else, we just have a couple of disabled vehicles that are not causing any problems. There's a little bit longer delay on 94 eastbound and westbound around the ballpark. Of course, we've got the construction out there, but just a few minutes ago, there was a crew getting a broken down vehicle out of the scene. So that was definitely slowing things down as well. But that has since cleared, so still just dealing with the backups right now. Also seeing some heavier delays on 4145. Keep in mind, it is Thursday before Memorial Day, and this time right now is the busiest time for traffic. So that's definitely packing up the streets where we have construction a little bit more than usual.
It really does feel like there's construction everywhere right now. I mean, any place, right? Capitol Drive, Silver Spring, Good Hope, Hampton, freeway system, eastbound, westbound, north and south. Like, I cannot possibly avoid it. I try, but I can't. And if I do, I get stuck by a train.
Oh, well, and this is not necessarily a good example for this particular weekend because a lot of times you do see construction crews stop work on a holiday weekend just to kind of help with the flow. But it also just feels like you look out there and you see the construction cones, but where are the people working? I know you're working, especially if you're one. You're like, I'm working a lot. I get it, but do you just ever have that? You're driving and you just feel like it's closed. I see the cones, lots of cones, but I don't see the people working.
I usually have more questions than answers. I also have a lot more questions about the weather here. I'm wondering if Jacob Montezano's got a little button in the weather center where you can shut off the natural air conditioning because it's like 45 degrees outside. Hey, Jacob.
Yeah, it's certainly a chilly one out there, but
there's some good news in the forecast, trust me.
Talk to me.
Okay, tell us. Please do.
Well, pretty much each and every day is going to get warmer and warmer. So tomorrow we're going to have highs near 60, then lower 60 Saturday, then lower 70 Sunday, then middle to upper 70s for Memorial Day Monday. And we'll have a few rain chances, but pretty much each and every day they'll feature just a small chance of rain, nothing too heavy, and it wouldn't surprise me if a lot of the area each and every day doesn't see any rainfall. So it's very good news as we get into Memorial Day weekend because it's going to be warmer, and we're not really looking at any big rainfalls, and even the small rainfalls may not even produce much of anything for a lot of the region.
I mean, Memorial Day itself looks spectacular. Mostly sunny with a high of 76. I don't think you can beat that here in southeastern Wisconsin right now. But as I look at Sunday, you had mentioned the slight chance for a shower or storm. Any idea on the timing of that right now? Because Sunday is such a busy day for people in general, but especially on a holiday weekend where you've got maybe families that are getting together on Sunday before the actual holiday. What are you thinking timing-wise for the chance of showers and storms?
Yeah, right now it looks like the best chance for Sunday will probably be early, but again, it's very hit or miss. And, we have been dry, so whenever you have drier ground, I say dry, we've been dry in May. Obviously, we had that historic April, but the ground is really dried out. And when you have that, you get less likely to have those pop-up showers and storms that you kind of see every so often, like randomly throughout, from May through July. So because the ground's drier, I don't expect to see much of that. And so the actual, system with rain, that will only bring a small chance of anything. Looks like it'll be Sunday morning. But yeah, Sunday afternoon looks pretty good right now. I'm not seeing anything to suggest otherwise. And this is obviously great news, especially considering how cold it is right now. The feels-like temperature in Milwaukee at noon was 34. 34 degrees on May 21st as it feels like temperature, but still.
Well, we will more than double that here moving forward. It does look like once you get to Sunday, Jacob, you're going to have a nice stretch here. It looks like the longer-term forecast here looks like temperatures a little above normal, perhaps.
Yeah, by the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook has a very high likelihood of above average temperatures for Wisconsin during that period, and that includes the end of May. So it's going to really start to feel like summer in just a couple of days. Just gotta get through today, because tomorrow most of the area will get to the 60s. It will feel better. Maybe still a little chilly at times. And then, like I said, each and every day just getting better and better. Maybe you have to dodge a few light rain showers, but if you have any outdoor plans this weekend, keep them going. If there is rainfall, it'll be very brief.
All right, Jacob, good stuff. We appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll check in again soon.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yep, you bet. It's 45 degrees. I don't know if it feels like that. He said, 34 was the feels like temperature at noon?
Yeah, he said feels like. And I remember thinking, well, this morning I felt it. It was brisk. That cold air was flowing in through the patio door, and I was going, why is that patio door open, Nicholas?
Yeah, bring your peppers in, man. I tell you what. It's 1:43 in WTMJ, our weekly wellness check with Dr. Ben Weston after this.
When it comes to the last frontier, nobody knows the great land like Princess Cruises, and our Alaska sailings are ready for you. Princess has been the leader in Alaska for decades, taking more guests to Glacier Bay National Park than any other line. At Fox World Travel, we specialize in pairing you with the perfect Princess itinerary to see North America's highest peaks and most incredible wildlife. Join the hundreds of Wisconsin travelers who trust Fox to get them to the heart of the wild. Secure your stateroom today. Visit foxworldtravel.com or call 866-GO-FOX-GO.
Hey, thanks, Rose. Sounds good. Hey, there's a great deal going on right now at Connie's, for Connie's, I should say, at Metcalf's. There we go. Metcalf's and Connie's Pizza made by Palermo's. How about this? $4.99 for this premium pizza. That's a great price. Now through May 27th at Metcalf's. Limited time, you can stock up and save on Connie's. Made by Palermo's, Wisconsin's hometown pizza. Proud makers of Connie's and Urban Pie, Screamin' Sicilian. I just tried the Screamin' Sicilian breadsticks, by the way. These are tear-apart breadsticks. They are gooey. They are delicious. Had some the other night. In fact, we were on the run on Tuesday night trying to get one kid to soccer, one kid to softball, and trying to figure out when we were going to eat. Well, we reconvened at home about 7 o'clock, and it was a Palermo's night. Screamin' Sicilian in the oven along with the breadsticks, and we were happy. And everybody was full, thanks to Palermo's. Best tasting frozen pizzas you are going to find. Made by Palermo's. Proudly made in the state of Wisconsin. That's why they're called Wisconsin's hometown pizza.
So I was talking with another real estate agent who has been in the business even longer than I have, with a couple of other big-name companies. He was talking about how it's tough to compete with us because we have good agents and we charge less commission. And he even said that he lost a few listings to us, and it always bothered him because he realized that he was doing everything that we were doing, but he was charging more. We do charge less, and we do everything that a full-service agency does, because we are full-service real estate agents. The only difference is we give you our very best commission rate up front. You do pay for what you get. And with Century 21 Benefit Realty for 1.9% on the listing side of your home, with a cap of $19,000 commission on any size home, you can get full-service experienced agents, MLS marketing, professional photos, even virtual walkthroughs, and everything you get from any other big-name agent, all under the umbrella of the Century 21 brand. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Hey everybody, Debbie Lozica here for Comfort Awnings. This year, reclaim your outdoor space like I did. Having the option to extend our awning when that summer sun gets too hot or when it's raining has been a game changer, and it allows my dogs, husband, and I to enjoy our patio every season. Right now, get up to $500 off any awning or screen. That's right, get 10% off up to $500 until the end of the month. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com to learn more.
On Memorial Day, remember those who gave the ultimate sacrifice. Brave Americans who served shouldn't be denied benefits or have a disability claim incorrectly evaluated by the VA. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
For growing businesses, digital marketing shouldn't be a gamble. If your business needs results, not guesswork, it's time for a different approach. At Margle Media, we deliver real results for businesses in an evolving digital world. Backed by data, guided by strategy, and focused on actionable outcomes. We partner with businesses of all sizes to drive growth locally or nationwide. Set up a free consultation today. Visit us at marglemedia.com. That's MARGLE media.com.
Doctor, give me the news. I got a bad case of loving you.
1:45 is on a Thursday. Time for our weekly wellness check with Dr. Ben Weston from the Medical College of Wisconsin, Chief Health Policy Advisor for Milwaukee County. Hey, Dr. Weston.
Hey, how's it going?
Doing well. So this Ebola story is developing here. Ebola breaks out of the Democratic Republic of Congo. Now we've got over 150 who have died, suspected 600 cases or so, and the World Health Organization believes these numbers could grow. There are travel precautions now set up in the United States, but let's go back to the origin here of Ebola, these outbreaks. It puts Ebola in the headlines. What is it exactly? Why is it so dangerous?
Yeah, so we've heard about Ebola before, but it's this rare but very serious disease. It's actually caused by a group of viruses. It was first discovered back in 1976 in the countries now known as South Sudan and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Now, most outbreaks we've seen are in sub-Saharan Africa. And in this case, while the World Health Organization has declared this most recent outbreak a public health emergency of international concern, the risk of it becoming a global public health emergency is quite low, and steps are being taken to contain that spread through public health measures, classic things, contact tracing, isolation, and the like.
So the risk is low, but people should still know the symptoms. So what are the symptoms of Ebola?
Yeah, so the symptoms start anywhere from 2 to 21 days after exposure, usually about a week, and it starts off pretty similar to the flu. This is a story with a lot of these illnesses: fever, fatigue, muscle aches, weakness. What happens, though, is as the illness progresses, it starts affecting organ systems differently. You get a lot of GI symptoms. It can cause unexplained bleeding. That's one of the classic things with more advanced Ebola, and it can lead to more severe organ involvement and death. Now, one thing that's important to remember, it's not airborne like a lot of other diseases we think of. It's a little harder to transmit. It's usually through direct contact with body fluids of someone who's infected. So it generally requires more close contact to spread from person to person.
So maybe a little different than hantavirus, another virus that's been in the news recently, but curious how it's treated. If you show these symptoms and your condition is worsening, how can you have it treated?
Yeah, so the answer is a little tricky. So there are these monoclonal antibodies as a treatment available for some strains of Ebola, and they have shown improvement in survival rates. A lot of times it's just supportive care. That means fluids, oxygen, blood pressure medications, treatment for pain and other symptoms. Now, there is an Ebola vaccine that was recently developed, but it only protects against one specific strain, not the strain that we're seeing currently spreading in these parts of Africa. And we have to remember, these are low-resourced communities, so a lot of times those supportive treatments that we rely on in the United States of high-tech hospitalization just can't happen in the same way.
We're talking with Dr. Ben Weston for a weekly wellness check. A condition commonly referred to as PCOS was just renamed to better reflect what's really going on in the body. So, Dr. Weston, what is this new name and what does it all mean?
Yeah, so PCOS, or polycystic ovarian syndrome, affects actually a lot of people, about 1 out of 8 women worldwide. And over the years, what we've come to realize is that the name doesn't really describe what's going on. So last week it changed. Now it's PMOS, and the letters mean different things. So polyendocrine metabolic ovarian syndrome. And what this new name really reflects is what we understand a little bit better. This isn't just an ovarian condition. It's really a broader hormonal and metabolic disorder that affects all sorts of different systems of the body. It's caused by hormone imbalances. It includes high levels of androgens, and this can lead to things like irregular menstrual cycles, fertility challenges, and metabolic issues like insulin resistance as well.
Are there additional symptoms, Dr. Weston?
Yeah, it really varies person to person, but a lot of the symptoms that go along with this would be irregular menstrual periods, acne, weight gain, thinning hair on the scalp, increased body hair growth, skin tags, and then, importantly, difficulty becoming pregnant. And then some patients can also have insulin resistance, which can lead to a type of type 2 diabetes, as well as heart disease.
So how is it treated?
Yeah, it really depends on which symptoms you have. It also depends a lot on whether the patient is trying to become pregnant. For those who are not trying to become pregnant, treatment can include birth control that can regulate a lot of the hormone levels, medications to improve insulin sensitivity, and then other medications for very symptom-specific things, acne or the hair growth. Also lifestyle changes, nutrition, exercise, sleep, weight management, that goes a long way for this, as well as many other conditions. Now, for patients who are trying to become pregnant, it's a little bit different. You might need to actually stimulate ovulation or certain fertility treatments, things like that. So it is a lifelong condition, but usually symptoms can be managed quite effectively with the right treatment plan. So you want to talk to your healthcare provider if you're worried you have this condition for how best to treat it.
Big weekend for outdoor activity here, Dr. Weston, as Memorial Day marks the official start of summer. Of course, the DOT is preaching patience and safety on the roadways if you're going to a cookout or some sort of outdoor gathering. But there's also the idea of food safety. This is a big cookout weekend, and not all that food is safe if it's been sitting out too long.
That's right. And we're going to see some warm weather, I hope, toward the end of Memorial Day weekend. But one of the rules with hot weather is the 2-hour rule. So generally speaking, room temperature leftovers should be refrigerated within 2 hours to keep it from going bad. Now, if it gets hot out, you don't really want food to sit out for more than 1 hour. You also want to do some of the kind of obvious stuff, but it often gets forgotten. Keep perishables, cold food in coolers, insulated containers with ice packs. Make sure hot food is staying hot. And then, of course, basic things, washing your hands after handling raw meat, cooking your food thoroughly to the recommended temperature. And if you're not sure if it's good or if it's bad, just toss it. It's the safer thing to do.
I love warm weather, but the bugs, especially with certain people. I mean, I was just down in Florida, the no-see-ums. They always get me. As much spray as I put on, I come back and I just have these little no-see-um bites. And I know a lot of people are worried about mosquitoes, especially after last season. What's the best way to avoid bug bites this season?
Yeah, with all the rain we got last month, we're actually seeing a lot of mosquitoes and ticks throughout Wisconsin. So there's a few things. Insect repellent, obviously that's a big one. On exposed skin, on clothing, with DEET in it is what's going to work best, but there are some other chemicals you can go after. If you're worried about ticks, especially if you're out in the woods or in wooded type areas, long sleeve pants, tall socks, tucking the pants into the socks, doing good tick checks, checking yourself, your gear, even your pets, especially for ticks after you're outdoors. And people always ask the question, what do you do if you find a tick embedded? There's all sorts of mumbo jumbo of what to do. Really, get some tweezers, grab it as close to the skin as possible, and pull out with a firm, slow pull. And certainly if you start seeing the worrisome sign, that bullseye-shaped rash consistent with Lyme disease, you definitely want to see a health professional.
Let's talk sunscreen here, Dr. Weston. We've had a couple of sunscreen days, much to my daughter's chagrin, because they got to spray them and kind of hose them down before they get on the soccer field or whatever. The long-range forecast looks like plenty of opportunities here for sunscreen as we get temperatures starting to ramp up a little bit here. I've argued with my young daughters who are 11 and 9 that you should probably put a little sunscreen lotion on your face like every day. Like just every day that there is sun outside. Doesn't matter the temperature. It will protect you. It's not a bad practice to get into. Yeah. Am I overdoing it as a parent here? Am I a little too helicopterish?
I think it's good advice. I do that every single day. Just normal lotion has sunscreen in it. You can put it on. It's going to protect your skin. Certainly when you're out in the sun in a more intentional sort of way, you're going to the pool, you're going to the park, the beach, whatever it is, you want to be more intentional about that sunscreen as well. We're talking SPF at least 30 and reapplying every 2 hours. That's what often gets forgotten is that reapply part. You do it in the morning, then you forget about it for the rest of the day. So SPF at least 30, reapply every 2 hours, and check that expiration date. Sunscreen is something that actually does expire and become much less helpful and much less effective. And then, of course, hats, sunglasses, that goes a long way too.
Always great information. Dr. Ben Weston joins us each and every week here, our weekly wellness check. Thank you, Dr. Weston. Have a great weekend.
Thanks so much.
You as well. Take care.
It's 1:56.
May is here, which means your house is officially done hiding under snow, and now you can see everything it needs. Good news, Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help. Upgrade to energy-efficient windows, durable roofing, new siding, or a beautiful bath remodel, and get $3,000 off your project. Think of it as spring cleaning, but way more impressive. That's $3,000 in instant savings during our May savings event, but it won't last long. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. Exterior Pros and Baths. Big savings done right.
Well, navigating the loss of a partner, whether through death or divorce or even some sort of health crisis, it can feel overwhelming. Greg Matzik here for Annex Wealth Management. They can help you if this situation does feel overwhelming. If you've never really been responsible for managing finances, it's natural to wonder where to begin and who can help. Annex Wealth Management. They are here to support you with its Women in Wealth event series. It's designed to inform and empower and guide women through life's unexpected transitions. And in the coming month, you can join Annex for 2 in-person events focused on preparing for the unexpected with confidence and also navigating important family conversations. Annex knows the decisions you make today, they will help shape your financial future. Local experts here at Annex can help explain the path for optimizing your portfolio and planning ahead as you work through different chapters of your life. Annex, part of the community. Wonderful people with multiple offices located in Brookfield, Mequon, Delafield, downtown Milwaukee. You're never far away from Annex, even a location in Whitefish Bay. Got an expert team. We've worked with Annex for about 7 years. Could not be happier with our communication, our plan, our path. Everything is on track thanks to Annex Wealth Management. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, and Annex Ignite. They've got financial planning for every level on your journey. Know the difference with Annex Wealth Management.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. Are you thinking about plans for this spring? Maybe already looking ahead to the summer or the fall? I've got you covered. I hope you'll join me this Saturday and every Saturday at 1 o'clock for Experience Wisconsin. We check in with places across our state, organization, regions, stuff that you need to know to help you get the coolest stuff planned. It's Experience Wisconsin. This week we are joined by Sheboygan and the famous Fox and Hounds. Saturdays at 1, right here on 620 WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
How do you know if you're truly ready to retire? Hi, I'm Tony Drake, certified financial planner and founder of Drake & Associates right here in Wisconsin. Many people focus on just one number, how much they've saved. But retirement readiness is about much more than a balance in your accounts. It's about having a clear plan for income, investments, taxes, healthcare, and how your money will support the lifestyle you want. Without that coordination, even a large nest egg can run into problems over time. At Drake & Associates, we help families create retirement plans designed to answer the big question, will your income last? Are you taking too much risk? And are there opportunities to reduce taxes along the way? To help you start thinking through those questions, I've created a complimentary retirement toolkit. It includes my book, Get Retirement Ready, and 5 practical guides covering investments, taxes, and retirement income strategies. Call 414-897-9522 or text the word READY to 414-897-9522 for your no-cost toolkit. That's 414-897-9522 or text READY to 414-897-9522. Because retirement isn't just about saving enough, it's about having a plan.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
Your trusted and relevant source for news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 2:01. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Thursday, May 21st. Your top stories: students remaining inside Lannon Elementary School.
I'm Jessica Ty, responding to a rare virus outbreak in Africa.
The rain is gone. Temperatures not exactly warming up, however. We're sticking at about 46 degrees right now in Milwaukee. Could hit the mid-50s inland. Mostly cloudy tonight and a low of 45. From the WTMJ breaking newsroom, a developing story. Students being held indoors at Lannon Elementary School in Waukesha County. School officials say it's in response to a law enforcement situation happening off of school property. All students and staff are safe. Working on getting you more details here on WTMJ.
The U.S. is responding to pleas for help dealing with a growing Ebola outbreak linked to a rare virus in eastern Congo. Secretary of State Marco Rubio.
So objective number 1 is to make sure that Ebola never reaches the United States. Objective number 2 is do what we can to help the people of DRC and neighboring countries so it doesn't spread. And I think we're up to 600 confirmed cases. There are probably more. We'll learn more about it.
Rubio says the U.S. is helping to build clinics to help those impacted despite armed groups threatening the region, along with the displacement and humanitarian crisis.
A lawsuit filed by 2 Capitol police officers is challenging the nearly $2 billion fund resulting from President Trump's settlement with the IRS. CBS's Natalie Brand at the White House.
2 police officers who defended the U.S. Capitol on January 6th are suing the Trump administration to try and stop a newly created fund that they worry could reward the rioters.
It's just that they committed crimes and they recorded themselves doing these crimes. So then they face the consequences right up until Trump pardoned them.
Officer Daniel Hodges and retired U.S. Capitol Police Officer Harry Dunn have filed a lawsuit to try and block the Justice Department's new nearly $1.8 billion fund set up to compensate those who claim they were targeted by the Biden Justice Department.
Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle are also calling for a review of the potential payouts.
A man facing felony charges after his 3 children died in an apartment fire on Thanksgiving makes his first court appearance.
Joshua Cannon of Kenosha is charged with 3 counts of child neglect resulting in death. Court documents show the fire started in the kitchen, and investigators allege Cannon left his children unattended when they went to make food on the stove. He also allegedly left combustible materials on the stovetop and took down a smoke alarm in the home. A judge set a preliminary hearing for Cannon next month. He is out of custody on a signature bond. Nazir Spencer, WTMJ News.
And work on Milwaukee Mitchell International's newest concourse is getting a little financial boost.
$8 million more federal dollars are going towards the development of Concourse E, which will replace the existing International Arrivals Terminal and provide space for both foreign and domestic flights in and out of Mitchell. Construction began in 2025, and the project has to date received more than $21 million in federal grants. The terminal was supposed to open in 2021, but pandemic-related difficulties with raising money delayed the start of work. It is now expected to be ready by late 2027. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Now we have mixed results. We've gone from all red to all green to sort of a mixed bag here. The Dow is up 235 points at 50,243. NASDAQ got just a little bit, down 18 points at 26,252. And the S&P 500 is holding on about 2.5 points in the green at 74.35. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite, financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
The brooms worked well. The sweep feels good. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is coming up on 2:05.
That bathroom of yours, its look is more than worn on its welcome. And a remodeling job? Right now, that's just a little too steep for your checkbook. Well, Lester's Glass Service can give your bathroom a fresh new look, an affordable upgrade that can really produce some pretty desirable results. You could replace that drab shower curtain and install a gorgeous new glass shower door. Why don't you come by our showroom in Hales Corners? And when you get here, we can share with you the myriad of options you have available. Decorative glass, stained glass, beveled mirrors, improvements you may not have realized you could do. This is Stacy Sinks with Les's Glass Service, and glass and mirrors have been our business for over 35 years. You know, my dad Les says, when you're good, you last. So if it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Les's Glass. Les's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lesglassservice.com.
Do you have an upcoming wedding, a bridal or baby shower, maybe a family reunion? WTMJ's John Mercure here. I highly recommend having your party at the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club. Half your dinners are free. When you buy one dinner, your second dinner's free every single night, even for special events. Choice steaks, seafood, pasta. How about the surf and turf? Any entree, buy one, get one free. Desserts, my favorite part, is buy one, get one free. Celebrate a birthday, an anniversary, a retirement, or just a quiet free dinner with your sweetie. Have your company employee appreciation dinner at the Fox and Hounds. Half your dinners are free, and it's a gorgeous setting right in the heart of the Kettle Moraine near Holy Hill. Spectacular views. Gift cards are also the perfect year-round gifts, as your second dinner is always free. Order online, and your gift cards will arrive shortly. I've done this many times. Reserve your wedding shower, rehearsal, or family dinner today. Half your dinners are free every night at the Fox and Hounds. Google, call, and reserve.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Brewers President of Baseball Operations Matt Arnold proud of his young starting pitching staff that limited the Cubs to just 3 earned runs over nearly 18 innings pitched in a 3-game sweep.
Just being able to get through those games with young guys, again, when we're looking at guys like Sproat, Mizorowski, Harrison starting those games, those are really young players, and I think those experiences for these guys is going to carry over.
Following a 5-1 road trip, the Brewers begin a 3-game weekend series in Milwaukee against the Dodgers Friday night. In the NBA, the Cavaliers and Knicks meet up tonight in Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals from Madison Square Garden. Thunder and Spurs, best-of-7 Western Conference series, tied at a game apiece.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. No new crashes to report. That's the good news. Unfortunately, we are still dealing with a closure in Waukesha County due to a crash earlier this morning, a deadly crash. That one involving 2 semis on I-43. Authorities say one semi rear-ended the other, killing one of the drivers right there at the scene. Because of that, as crews are out there cleaning the area up and reconstructing the scene, I-43 remains closed right now between Highway 83 and Highway 164.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Veterans benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Brave Americans who served shouldn't be denied benefits or have a disability claim incorrectly evaluated by the VA. If you're one of those vets, call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Well, starting to see a very slight warm-up here in Milwaukee now that the rain has moved out over Lake Michigan. Some spotty showers way to the west out at Madison, kind of north into that Baraboo area, more central Wisconsin, but we should be good the rest of the day here in southeastern Wisconsin. High of 55 degrees, inland 50 closer to Lake Michigan. It's currently 48 and cloudy.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
2 down, 1 to go in Wisconsin's Midday News Thursday edition. We are back to round out the week on Friday and sending you into your long holiday weekend.
Here's your top 2 at 2 on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number 1, we are just minutes away from the arraignment for 4 of the activists involved in the break-in at Ridgeland Farms in Dane County in March. They took more than 20 beagles from the controversial breeding and research facility during that effort. About 1 month later, activists went back. They wanted to get all the dogs, but didn't get past new reinforcements, police, and security. Weeks later, 2 rescue groups reached a deal with Ridgeland to buy 1,500 beagles. Wayne Shung, the leader of the group who's been organizing the mass rescue efforts, as they call them, is among those being arraigned in just moments here. And we interviewed Wayne right here in Wisconsin's Midday News as soon as he got out of jail after being arrested after the break-in in March. And I asked him for his thoughts ahead of today's arraignment. He just texted back, and he says, "I think today is going to be important." Shung says he's hopeful the judge gives him and the activists a fair chance. He says so far, the Dane County judges have been fair, but they have no experience with the judge today. Remember, he believes and the activists believe this was a rescue. Investigators say they broke the law.
Number 2, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration is predicting 8 to 14 named storms this year in the Atlantic. It's a different story in the Central Pacific region, where storm activity is expected to actually be a little higher than usual, with 15 to 22 named storms. What's the difference? NOAA Administrator Neil Jacobs explains.
In the Atlantic, the El Nino increases the vertical wind shear, which disrupts the outflow at higher levels. However, in the Central and Eastern Pacific, the El Nino reduces the vertical wind shear, essentially the opposite of the Atlantic, which is why we're expecting above average season in addition to the warmer sea surface temperature.
So very scientific. He kind of goes through it. But what you need to know is this. If you're living off the Atlantic coast, if you're Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, even in the Gulf areas, it looks like Florida has the highest probability of a named storm tracking within 50 miles of its coast. This is common each and every year, 74% chance. 21% chance of a major hurricane, 54% for the Carolinas. The first name for such a storm in the Atlantic in 2026 will be Arthur, for those keeping score at home.
It's always one of those things, if that's your name, it's a little awkward, right?
I know.
Here comes Arthur. We're tracking Arthur.
Well, they re-rack
Hopefully Arthur doesn't do much damage.
I know. Hopefully none of these do too much damage, but that's certainly not been the case. It really, the warmer water temperatures have helped spur a lot of this recent activity. But it is interesting that the numbers being projected are slightly fewer in the Atlantic region for 2026 for the reasons that our administrator friend Neil Jacobs outlined.
This just reminded me when I was down in Florida, I was driving past this road, and all of a sudden I looked up, and there was I think it was some apartments that were going up, but this big complex was going up. And I looked at the corner, and I thought, I'm pretty sure that's the corner that years ago, when there was a hurricane that came through, ripped through, did so much damage, that people, like, trucks just came in, the crews came in, and they took all of that destruction and put it out on this piece of land on the corner off this main street. I could just visualize all of that stuff still there, and like seeing beds and, old chairs and like a kid's little teddy bear and whatnot. And then years later, all that stuff is gone now, and there's a new building going up, and everybody's keeping their fingers crossed that they're not impacted by another hurricane.
It's 2:12 on WTMJ. Just got an update on the situation at Lannon Elementary School. The school and students remain being held inside the building, so no recess here at Lannon Elementary. The law enforcement situation is happening off of school property, but at a home very close to the school. I'm hearing from the principals saying that the Waukesha County Sheriff's Department is in close contact with the school. They're having conversations back and forth. Classroom learning day has not been interrupted. Schools and students are in kind of normal business here with the exception of outdoor recess. That is not being allowed right now. So there's a significant police presence in that area. If you're planning to pick up your child from Lannon Elementary School in Waukesha County, might want to give the school a call, figure out the best way to go about doing that. But students remain held inside the school for something that is happening, requiring quite a law enforcement presence outside of the school property. It's 2:13.
This is Bo from Ridgetop Exteriors. Your home should be the one place that you feel completely comfortable and safe, but old, drafty windows can steal that feeling. At Ridgetop Exteriors, we bring that peace of mind back. As Wisconsin's leading Pella Premier contractor, we install beautiful, secure windows and doors that can save you up to 40% on your energy bills. Get a home full of new Pella windows for as low as $198 a month. Learn more at ridgetopexteriors.com.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
Craig Matzik here telling you about Horicon Bank. What a wonderful bank and wonderful people. They've been in business for 130 years doing banking the right way. They first opened its doors back in 1896 in Horicon because there were people living in Horicon and going to work in Horicon and starting their business in Horicon. Well, Horicon Bank has expanded, with branches recently opening in a variety of areas here in southeastern Wisconsin, including New Berlin, Wauwatosa, Menominee Falls, and Grafton, and West Bend. It's Horicon Bank, still doing banking differently, still doing it the right way. With financing requests that can be approved in days, not weeks, your banker understands you and your business and how those products go hand in hand. It's Horicon Bank, truly the natural choice, and member FDIC.
Here's to sweet summer days together with friends and family in Wisconsin. To discovering magic in every moment.
Come on, over here.
And to reconnecting through a world filled with wonder.
Wow.
Here's to supper club celebrations and dancing until the sun goes down. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Plan your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guest, CertaPro Painters. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Well, no more rain in the forecast, at least not for downtown Milwaukee or southeastern Wisconsin. Looks like that is all gone. Central Wisconsin seeing a little shower activity right now. Temperatures in the mid-50s inland, topping out at about 50 degrees closer to Lake Michigan. It'll be a similar story tomorrow. Should see a high of about 60 degrees closer to the lake. So just a little bit warmer here, maybe about 10 degrees. Cloudy skies are anticipated. We do see a nice little warm-up here Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and that begins a beautiful stretch of weather here in southeastern Wisconsin. It's 48 degrees and cloudy in Milwaukee at 2:16.
Okay, everybody, heads up here. The peak travel time for Memorial Day weekend, we are in it right now, at least in Wisconsin. Started at noon today. Despite high gas prices, more than 45 million Americans are expected to travel at least 50 miles this weekend. And we know you might be one of them.
AAA says this holiday will see a slight increase in road travel compared to last year, but also higher gas prices. The national average is now $4.56 a gallon. Traffic data company INRIX says the worst times to drive will be Thursday and Friday afternoons, especially between 3 and 6 p.m., with major backups expected in cities like New York, Boston, Denver, and Los Angeles.
That's ABC's Stephanie Ramos. So you heard her right there. The worst time to drive right now, and then again tomorrow afternoon. That's why I hated to see these crashes that were happening earlier. Of course, we're still dealing with the one in Waukesha County from that deadly crash earlier this morning that is still impacting traffic. Other than that, we're doing okay across the system. But for a while there, like between noon and, maybe 1:30 or so, we had new crashes popping up. And I thought, oh, man, because you got so many people who are on the roads right now. Checking out the AAA gas gauge for you, because we're talking about those high gas prices. Average price for a gallon of regular is $4.46 in Wisconsin today. That's the average, of course, so it depends where you fill up. In Waukesha County, a gallon of regular is going for $4.45 a gallon. In Milwaukee County, just a little bit more than that, it's $4.49. But then Ozaukee County, it's $4.62. So if you know that, and you can make it through Ozaukee County, you just keep on driving. And you fill up somewhere else where it's a little bit cheaper.
Yeah, I wonder how much hunting people are doing, right? So that 50-mile mark is typically how AAA goes about figuring what that driving activity is going to look like, traveling 50 miles or more. So my brother lives across the border in Illinois, one of the northern burbs. And our typical thought is that if we need to fill up, we'll fill up in Wisconsin and not Illinois, right? Are we going to county shop, do it in Racine or Kenosha versus Waukesha? No. Probably not, but Wisconsin versus Illinois, we figure it's probably a couple of dollar win to do it in Wisconsin.
Well, and remember just a couple of weeks ago, we had our gas buddy who told us, and he said it's actually kind of interesting that Wisconsin does this because the other states don't do it. But here in Wisconsin, at the gas stations, they can only change the price at the pump one time a day. So I always keep that in mind now, because if I see it, I'm like, oh, wow, that one's 20 cents more than that one down the street. Of course, I'm going to the cheaper one, but I'm also thinking it's possible he might not be able to change his price until tomorrow.
So choosing whether we go someplace or not, we've not been into that world yet. Have we altered our habits? Maybe a little bit, because I've had electric vehicles, so maybe we'll try and carve out time to take that. Might need a stop along the way to charge up a little bit, and are there enough chargers to do that with my vehicle? We'll look at that stuff more than usual. But otherwise, I feel like with Memorial Day, people traveling, like, look, this is the start of your summer. You're kicking stuff off, right? Gas going to cost you $20 more, maybe? Fine. Like, we're still doing this. We're not putting life on hold. And where we live anyway is very much a driving community. You're pretty much in the vehicle anywhere you need to go. 45 million Americans expected to travel at least 50 miles this weekend. So you're filling up because you want to go on the trip, but maybe you're not going inside the gas station to get the candy bar and the extra stuff, the Coke that costs $4.52. Yeah, no, that is a very good point. I don't think this is as much of a flying holiday. I'd be curious what the airport numbers are, if this is a notable busy time, but it feels to me like Memorial Day is just more of a driving holiday than a flying holiday, and maybe it's because you're not going quite as far. We did some friends surprise their kids with a little trip to Disneyland for Memorial Day. Great, so they got out of Dodge today and we're flying, but it's always been more of a driving holiday for us. 2:20 up next, it's your Everyday Hero.
May is here, which means your house is officially done hiding under snow, and now you can see everything it needs. Good news, Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help. Upgrade to energy-efficient windows, durable roofing, new siding, or a beautiful bath remodel, and get $3,000 off your project. Think of it as spring cleaning, but way more impressive. That's $3,000 in instant savings during our May savings event, but it won't last long. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. Exterior Pros and Baths. Big savings done right.
Hey, Greg Matzik here for Soren's Ford on Capitol Drive in Brookfield. Home of the nice guys since 1917. It's the longest running Ford dealership in the state of Wisconsin. Fourth generation, family owned. I've known the Soren's family for about 30 years. Great people and a great business right in the heart of Brookfield. Had a simple issue with our car. Just needed some basic service, oil change, tire rotation, the kind of stuff that fills up your to-do list on a Saturday and takes far longer than you ever want it to. I called my friends at Soren's because they are close to us, just a few miles away from our home. We didn't buy our vehicle from Soren's, not this particular one, but they said, Greg, no problem. We can still do the oil change on it, rotate the tires. That's basic service. What's the VIN number? What's the make and model? We'll find the air filter. We'll take care of it for you. I said, great. When should I drop it off? They said, well, come get it. My wife was working from home on a Friday. Soren's came to our house, picked up her vehicle, brought it back to the station and the dealership. They did the service and dropped the vehicle back off a couple of hours later. My wife never left the house. Just handed over the keys to the friendly folks at Soren's for incredible service. That is amazing. They'll do the same for you. It's a family-owned business. They treat their customers like family and royalty at Soren's Ford. Check out that website, sorens.com, SOERENS.com. All sorts of great inventory here, new and used, Ford and beyond. It's Soren's Ford on Capitol Drive in Brookfield.
Where you live matters. Searching for assisted living can bring a lot of questions and a lot of emotion. At the Wisconsin Assisted Living Association, we believe you need a clear, complete picture without pressure. That's why we partnered with the American Seniors Housing Association on whereyouLiveMatters.org, a one-stop destination with unbiased information to help you understand your options and connect directly with providers in your area. No confusion, just tools that help you take the next step with confidence. Start your research today at whereyouLiveMatters.org.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. For pilots and aviation lovers, there's nothing like making a trip to EAA AirVenture Oshkosh. July 20th through the 26th. Get up close to thousands of aircraft. Learn about the newest innovation. Get hands-on with experts and witness breathtaking daily air shows, some even at night. There's no better way to immerse yourself into the world of aviation than by checking out the world's greatest aviation celebration. Fuel your passion for flight. EAA.org is the website. July 20th through the 26th, EAA.org.
Time now to celebrate an everyday hero weekly story as told by WTMJ's Eric Bilstead.
An everyday hero is when Wisconsin's Morning News celebrates an average John or Jane Fido who had no idea when they got up one morning they'd be saving a life. Today we head to Ashland, Virginia. Dan DiCandillo and his dog Gozier are taking a walk. They take a 5-mile walk every day, and today was no different. Same route, same time of day. But something happened as they passed one of the homes in the neighborhood.
And she started barking wildly at a house that we pass every single day.
Dan, speaking to WWBT 12 on Your Side News, says, Gosier would not stop barking and refused to keep walking past this one house. And he says her bark had a little bit of a cry to it. It was a different sounding bark. It wasn't one that he had heard before. So he decided, okay, well, we can walk up toward the house and see what's going on. They found a woman.
It was a woman who was on her back in a white robe, which camouflaged her and made it impossible to see from the road.
And it was cold outside. She definitely was not dressed to be outside.
She had no hat. She had no gloves. She had no shoes.
Dan says he banged on the door. Homeowner came out, didn't know who she was, so they called 911. She was unconscious, but the whole while, Gosier is barking and barking, trying to wake her up. Ultimately, they got her to the hospital. She spent a week in the ICU. We're told she's doing better now. Dan says, thank goodness, Gosier noticed.
It's a good thing we stopped because I wouldn't have done it without her. I would have walked right past because you could see nothing.
It just proves what many of us dog lovers always knew, right?
Dogs are special. You know, they have that sense that we don't have. And obviously that was well displayed that morning. It's like a proud father. Yes, my little girl.
That is a good girl, little Gosier. Thank you for being an everyday hero. Everyday Hero, sponsored by Zura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care. Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
Oh, it's a good story here. What a fun story as told by WTMJ's Eric Bilstead. Keep in mind, Steve Scafidi is wrapping up his Salute to Service honorees tomorrow. They'll have the final installment of the Salute to Service. If you missed any of those features, they are incredible stories. In fact, we had one shared earlier today, so you can check out our podcast page, and you'll find the story here. Also, the Point Taken podcast page at WTMJ.com. You'll see 4 stories of heroes here in our community as part of Steve Scafidi's annual Salute to Service. It wraps up on Friday. Incredible stories. There was a canine officer in there, which I thought was cool, and that would be a pretty interesting part of the job to work in law enforcement and be part of the canine team. I've always dreamed of having a role with that. That'd be pretty cool stuff.
We've had some canines come in and kind of show off how they do their work. It's pretty fascinating and what they can find.
Having a German Shepherd growing up, I think I've always been fascinated with their ability to do the job that they do.
Oh, I didn't realize it was a German Shepherd that you had growing up. It's kind of interesting you went from a German Shepherd to the Greyhound.
Yes, quite a bit less fur. That is for sure. Big sniffer, but more of a sight hound. See, the Greyhound's more of a sight hound.
You don't have to vacuum so much.
No, not at all. And the Greyhound doesn't bark at all. So not much of a watchdog. If you come to the house, he's probably sleeping. It's 2:27 here on WTMJ. Wisconsin's Midday News podcast is built by Siding Unlimited. Also, check out our YouTube feed. You can hop into the studio with us. That's right. We're streaming on YouTube. That gives you a chance to listen and watch at the same time. WTMJ and Wisconsin's Midday News streaming on YouTube.
Now that the weather is becoming wonderful, let's think less work, more play. Let Outdoor Living Unlimited replace that deck, build the outdoor kitchen, add a covered structure. How about an automated pergola with automated screens? Let us build a space for you that you'll never have to paint. All you need to do is play, enjoy, live. Stop by our Outdoor Living Unlimited showroom at 665 Larry Court in Waukesha. The showroom is amazing, perfect to start your journey. Less work, more play, Outdoor Living Unlimited.
Hey y'all, it's the Rocket Roger Clemens here. Spent a lot of time pitching heat. Years later, the pain in my joints remind me of those days, but I'm not looking to sit still, and I definitely am not interested in going under the knife. That's why I chose QC Kinetics.
Not just for elite retired athletes. QC Kinetics gives everyday folks joint pain relief using regenerative treatments that work with your body to help repair joint damage.
No surgery, no long recovery, whether it's your knees, hips, shoulders, or back. My friends at QC Kinetics will help you get moving again so you can get back to doing the things you love.
QC Kinetics medical professionals will look at your x-rays or MRI to determine if you're a good candidate.
I trusted QC Kinetics to help me feel like myself again, and I'm proud to recommend them to you.
Call QC Kinetics today and schedule your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-667-5559. That's 414-667-5559. 414-667-5559.
Want to stay up to date with the crew?
And the Brewers take Game 1 in the Twin Cities. They have won 7 of their last 8.
Tune in to Brewers Extra Innings with Dominic Cotroneo after every game.
Doubling down on my take, leaving spring training. This team is more talented than last year's team. I truly believe that. Yelich returns to this order. It looks pretty darn good.
Or listen anytime on the Brewers All Access podcast feed. We are your home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
Why settle for just a job when you can have a career in the exciting automobile industry? The Auto Dealers Association of Mega Milwaukee new car dealer members have service technicians, sales, administrative, and management positions available now. The first word in career is car, and one of the best places to find a great career opportunity is at an Adam member new car dealer.
For current great paying job opportunities, visit adam.com/jobs. That's ADAMM.com/jobs.
It's 2:30. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. Your top story: no injuries after a 5-alarm fire.
I'm Jessica Ty, paying millions in fines for parking violations.
Mostly cloudy the rest of the way. High 55 degrees inland. Little cooler near Lake Michigan. Mostly cloudy tonight. Low 45. Clouds continue on Friday. Chance of rain late and a high of 64.
ABC News, I'm Chuck Sievertson. Backfiring a Trump administration attempt to win over Republican senators today for the Justice Department funds set up to pay people claiming they were harmed by the government in the Biden years. It potentially could include rioters from January 6, 2021. A closed-door meeting today to get Republican support for a funding bill for ICE and other agencies fell apart, sources say, over the compensation fund. Several sources in the room tell ABC News that Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche even tried to placate senators by saying they themselves can apply to receive money from the fund. That also backfired. On the Iran war, Secretary of State Marco Rubio today.
I think we've made some progress, but obviously we're dealing with a system that itself is a little fractured. So the Iranian system.
The vote on a measure to force President Trump to end the Iran war is expected in the House today. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 2:31. A 5-alarm fire leaves extensive damage to a former tannery building on Milwaukee's north side. No one was injured in the fire Wednesday night near 32nd and Hampton. Milwaukee Fire Chief Aaron Lipsky tells WTMJ.
We don't have a cost yet. The building was vacant, so it's difficult to say. But the building is likely a total loss.
Milwaukee Health Department is monitoring air quality near the structure. City leaders say it can take up to 15 days to remove all of the debris from the fire.
One person is dead after a crash this morning involving 2 semis on I-43 in Waukesha County. The crash happened near Highway 164 in Big Bend. Investigators tell us one of the semis rear-ended the other, and one of the drivers died right there at the scene. Northbound I-43 remains closed between Highway 83 and Highway 164 right now. They're doing some cleanup. They're also investigating, of course. Typically in these situations, they reconstruct the scene. Drivers are being asked still to find alternative routes.
A city ordinance aimed at habitual parking is now bringing in millions in payments. Milwaukee officials updated the Public Safety and Health Committee Thursday on the city's towing ordinance targeting drivers with multiple unpaid parking tickets. Parking Enforcement Manager Peter Knox.
You basically, if we are doing our patrols, we come across your car and it's illegally parked, and if it has 5 or more citations that it's eligible, we will tow the vehicle. So that is the approach that we take, and we continue to do that as we said we would from the very beginning.
More than 2,100 vehicles have been towed so far this year under the ordinance.
A safety concern prompts an evacuation at a Cudahy Elementary School. Staff members at J.E. Jones Elementary were alerted to bomb threats this morning. As a precaution, students and staff were evacuated and access to the school was restricted. Parents have now been reunited with their kids at a different spot, and district staff is working with emergency responders.
A band song still got its performance in Watertown. Hundreds packed Emmanuel Evangelical Lutheran Church Wednesday night after the school board blocked the high school wind symphony from performing A Mother of a Revolution. Composer Omar Thomas traveled to Wisconsin to conduct the performance himself.
I always thought empathy was a given. What I learned is that it's a muscle that people have, but just like any other muscle, you have to choose to exercise it. And what we do in this ensemble, what we're all doing right now, now is we're choosing to learn about one another, and we're choosing to learn about what makes us all part of the same story.
The concert was live streamed from the church to viewers across multiple states and countries.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 2:34.
Accident mortgages and equals and lender, NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wickert here with my son David, Acunet's president and chief metaphor officer. What do you have for us this time?
Dad, for a lot of sellers, selling their home is like handing over a family photo album. Every room in that house has a birthday memory or a trombone lesson or that last Mother's Day brunch before the kids moved out. The seller isn't just transferring a deed, they're saying farewell to a chapter of their life.
So buyers need to walk through the front door with that in mind.
Absolutely. It's not just a financial transaction. It's a transfer of trust. Sellers and their agents are looking to say yes to the buyer who is strong enough and safe enough to make good on their offer.
So what does that look like in practice?
It looks like a rock-solid, guaranteed pre-approval and a thoughtfully crafted offer that tells the seller, I will show up.
Because when the seller is deciding who will get the keys and the metaphorical family photo album,
you want them to feel the best about handing them to you.
Get started with your rock-solid pre-approval by clicking on the blue button today at Acunet.com.
Hey, remember when your basement was just for storage? WTMJ's Greg Matzik here. With Matrix Basement Finishing, they turn that empty space into the heart of your home. It's what they did for us. Whether it's a cozy family movie night or cheering on your favorite team during the best time of the year to watch sports. From the design consultation to picking out your perfect flooring and fixtures, the process is seamless and done at your home. Get the quality craftsmanship you deserve with no payments until 2028. And visit matrixbasements.com.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we know you do things your way. So why shop the same retail giants as everyone else when you can easily find the products you need and trust at unbeatable prices? Right now, Rust-Oleum Farm and Implement Paint is 15% off. $10 off Gordon's 2.5-gallon liquid weed and feed or Trimet concentrate. And 50-pound bags of Top Choice Contractors Mix grass seed, $20 off. Find value on the things you value. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers begin the day a game and a half ahead of the Cubs and Cardinals for first place in the division. Matt Arnold glowing after a 3-game sweep of the Cubs, but admits
they're not going anywhere. They're a good team. I mean, you don't win 10 games in a row on accident in this league, and they've done that twice already this season. So they're a formidable team, and but again, a credit to our guys and for playing the brand of baseball that we play and winning in a very tough environment.
No game for the Brewers tonight. A 3-game series with the Dodgers begins Friday in Milwaukee. NBA draft begins just over a month from today. The Bucks currently own the 10th overall pick, but there's no guarantee they'll hang on to it, according to GM John Horst.
An opportunity to add a player to our roster that can have a big impact, and hopefully a big impact quickly. It's also an opportunity to have an asset that we can consider using to build the team in other ways.
On the court tonight, the Cavaliers take on the Knicks in Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. We are still dealing with a significant closure in Waukesha County. I-43 North remains closed between Highway 83 and Highway 164 this afternoon because of a deadly crash earlier this morning. The crash involved 2 semis. One semi rear-ended the other, and one of the drivers died right there at the scene. A nasty crash indeed. Right now, you still have some cleanup work happening. You've got investigators reconstructing the scene, and because of that, I-43 North remains closed between Highway 83 and Highway 164 in Waukesha County. So avoid that area without a doubt. Other than that, we're doing pretty okay. Of course, we still have the backups in our construction zones, including, in case you're from out of town and listening, we've got backups in a major construction zone on 94 eastbound and westbound around American Family Field. It's stop and go for a while, but it doesn't take too long to get through it. Also, 4145 in the Mayfair area, as well as the Butler area.
Rain is gone from southeastern Wisconsin. We've now hit 50 degrees in Milwaukee. That's a good thing. 55 inland. Overnight low 45 degrees with plenty of clouds. Tomorrow's high 64 inland, 60 near the lake with a chance of rain. Should be getting into the 70s for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. It's 50 now in Milwaukee at 2:38. Well, it's the moment everyone is talking about, and a reminder that live television is sometimes the most compelling of reality television programs. So we spoke about this yesterday, the finale of Survivor 50. And this was a 3-hour marathon. It was a hybrid marathon, I'll call it, in the sense that a portion of the program featured tape segments from the island of Fiji, where they tape the program each and every season, and where the show is taped. Then you had these live segments in front of a studio audience in Los Angeles. The entire cast was there from season 50. Jeff Probst was there, the longtime host of Survivor. This guy is unflappable, right? I mean, this guy is...
Probster.
Yes, he is so good.
Oops.
Well, he's a true pro who always appears to be on his game. Well, up until last night anyway. So they had a taped segment in last night's program where the eventual winner declared who she wanted to participate in a fire-making challenge. If you know what Survivor's all about, it always comes down to a fire-making challenge to determine who's going to be in the final 3. You got to win the challenge to advance for your chance to win the money. Well, before that, the show cut back to a live portion of the program where Probst, speaking to one of the fire makers, revealed the result of the fire-making challenge before it ever aired.
You become the final member of our jury. Take a spot over here. This is it. These are the people. Their games fell a little short, but this is the group that is going to figure out what just happened.
They didn't show the fire.
Fire hasn't happened yet.
Huh?
The fire hasn't happened yet.
Keep going,
I'm not even sure what's happened, but up next, we're going to have one final surprise for the players, and this surprise they like. This is going to be interesting.
Now, as someone who worked in TV for so many years, as soon as he went to coming up next, that was cue for you got 2 minutes to get this figured out. What in the world?
That made me laugh. Also, it was a cue of he legit said, I don't know what happened here. Coming up next, it's like when something's going wrong, the easy thing to do is to punt, not in a terrible way, but to punt, go to that commercial break, and then boom, figure out what happened so you can come back.
You could hear those tepid applause from the audience, like, wait, what just happened? We didn't even do the fire thing yet. Why did he announce the jury member?
Well, and from the contestants, I didn't watch this live. I just saw it later on social media. I don't watch Survivor anymore. However, so not being in it, not seeing every episode, but watching this clip, if you look closely, you can see like people feel awkward because the contestants, they know it's a mess up and they're like, oh shoot. Like I felt bad for him because they're kind of like, oh, they got that kind of like cringe, like, oh no, what are you doing? No, shoot, you messed it up. I feel bad for him.
He did find a way to pivot. So the show returned after a couple of minutes, right? The standard commercial break, whether it was timed right or not.
After everybody's looking at each other, all the awkward moments.
Well, Probst handled the historic slip-up like a pro. He kind of laughed it off.
All right, so I love doing live television. So in case you're confused, this is what happened. We were going to show you fire making and then have the loser of fire making, Rizzo, come out and talk about how charming he is, and if he had practiced fire making, maybe he would have won. Instead, we did a Survivor twist. It's the last twist of the season. We called it a peek into the future. So now we're going to watch Rizzo lose in fire to Jonathan.
Yeah, he kind of zapped the drama out of the fire-making challenge. Cameras caught up with Rizzo, the guy who was outed before he was ousted. He had this to say.
Were you aware of what was going on? He brought you out, and it seemed like, why did they bring him out before the fire thing? Did you know what was going on?
So my understanding was they were under the assumption fire already happened, but I was in the green room saying like, wait, like I'm waiting for myself to lose here. What are we doing? And Jeff's like, bring out RizGod. And they're like, you're up. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to work with what we got here. And obviously doing the best RizGod that I do at Tribal. I'm playing off Jeff, and Jeff is talking about like fire. And I was like, well, I'm not trying to reveal it. So like, win or lose, I'm proud of how I played. And Jeff's like, sit your ass on the bench. And I'm like, well, this is awkward.
It was a really strange moment and a very uncommon moment for Jeff Probst, who later said, hey, look, I'm not watching the program when it's airing in your living room, right? I'm figuring out the next thing that we're doing. Okay, we've got this to do next. We're going to bring Rizzo out.
Yeah, he's got a million things going on. Yeah.
Right, and he's got producers telling him what to do. Well, somehow the cue was, hey, bring Rizzo onto the stage. So Jeff kind of rolled with it. maybe you got kind of confused on timing, but it all played out that way on live TV. You might have been watching the Brewer game. You might have had this on, but no doubt you heard about it if you didn't see it.
Well, and then viewers were writing on social media right away. So some people said, there was one guy who wrote, I can't believe we just witnessed that. What do you mean it's live with no delay? Like, how could that happen? And then somebody else wrote, another fan, Jeff spoiling his own show. Oh, Grandpa, it's time for bed. Ouch.
My daughters, because we were watching it kind of on catch up, we had paused it and we were having dinner, and then we decided to go back down, and we caught up eventually. They thought I somehow fast forwarded it. Hey, Dad, go back. You missed the whole fire making thing. Like, I didn't do anything. Everything just, I'm not sure what happened here, right? Yeah, don't blame Dad. Blame Probst. Blame that guy. Nonetheless, Survivor 50 from on a scale of 1 to 10 from this personal Survivor viewer, I'm going to go a 6.5. It was okay this year. I liked what they went for, but felt like a lot of the same old games. I know it's kind of iconic, and you're supporting history of this game. Amazing that it has lasted, roughly 25 years.
But somebody ultimately made the fire.
Yes, Jonathan made the fire, but he was not the winner. Aubrey was the winner, finally getting that $2 million prize. That was a twist. Not $1 million, $2 million because of Mr. Beast in his appearance on season 50. It's 2:44.
For those who seek the quiet majesty of the great land, Viking Alaska expeditions are the perfect choice, focusing on the destination rather than distractions. From the comfort of an elegant small ship, you'll explore the Inside Passage and touch the edge of the wilderness in true Scandinavian style. With Fox World Travel's expertise and Viking's world-class service, this is Alaska as it was meant to be seen, serene and spectacular. Space is limited for the 2027 season. Visit foxworldtravel.com or call 866-GO-FOX-GO.
Hey, Greg Matzik here. So thankful that we connected with the team at Inspired Closets Milwaukee. We are having all sorts of issues in our master closet. It boiled down to clunky furniture, stuff not staying folded or on the racks that we had that were kind of coming out of the wall. It was just a cluttered space. Every time we tried to clean it, it reverted back to a cluttered space and a source of stress. Well, Inspired Closets Milwaukee came out, and I said, please help fix this. Well, they transformed that space. It is beautiful. They took our design cues, added several of their own, came up with a beautiful design, and we had it installed about 3 months ago. And I'm telling you this much, we have not had to clean our closet once. Everything has a place, and it's organized and clutter-free thanks to Inspired Closets Milwaukee. A wife and husband team, Katie and Dan, will do exactly for you what they did for us. I'm telling you, this was transformative for our space. Not just a cool design. It's functional, it's beautiful, and it's reduced clutter and stress in our master closet. They'll do the same for you in your master, your pantry, your laundry room, maybe a front hall closet or a linen closet. Any place where storage is at a premium, they can help add it. Any place where you've got some clutter and disorganization, they can apply their organizational touch and transform the space. Ask what they can do in your garage. It's Inspired Closets Milwaukee.
I'm John Merck here with Dr. Patrick Yost. He's an orthopedic surgeon at Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin. Dr. Yost, thank you so much for being here with us.
Thanks for having me.
Let's talk about what you do. It's fascinating. What does an average week look like for you?
My weeks are all different. The common theme is we take care of people who are hurt, whether it's an injury playing basketball, whether it's a longstanding problem that's crept up on people gradually. I want people to feel better. I want their knee to work, I want their shoulder to work, and I want it to not hurt. And whatever that looks like for the patient that's in front of me right now, that's my goal.
What I love is that at Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin, sometimes it's surgery, but a lot of times it's solution that's non-surgical, right?
Yeah, that's true. It's such a cool place. I've heard it referred to as Orthopedic Disneyland, which imagine the feel of a kid walking into Disneyland. That's how the patients feel. That's how the nurses feel. That's how I feel. I walk in there, I have everything I need. It's an incredible place. The vibe there, if I can say it like my kids would, it's so good because we're doing great things for people, and we're proud of that.
What's the most common surgery you personally do?
Yeah, I take care of more hips than anything else. I do a lot of hip arthroscopy with labrum repairs. I replace a lot of hips, actually. Sometimes it's a sad thing to tell people. They come in, they think they need the labrum repaired, and actually your hip's all the way worn out. It needs to be replaced. Well, I can spin that pretty well because the outcomes of that are fantastic. So that's a good thing, too, to be doing that for people.
What makes OHAU a special place to work or be treated?
I think we do a great job for people, and we enjoy doing it. I see people, when I walk in, I see nurses that I know by name and doctors that I'm friends with, and we're enjoying ourselves. I'm happy to come to work. I'm excited when I go there because we're gonna make people feel better, and I really like the people I'm doing it with. I think we're doing a fantastic job. We're doing the best job that we possibly can, and I expect that tomorrow we'll do a better job.
Start your journey at OHOW.com. Dr. Patrick Yost. Thank you so much, Dr. Yost.
Thank you.
Rain is gone, clouds hanging out, high of 50 degrees by the lake, 55 inland, overnight low in the upper 40s. Tomorrow, 64 inland, 60 near Lake Michigan. It's currently 50 and cloudy in Milwaukee at 248.
Okay, you thought the Ferris wheel at State Fair was big before.
It was.
Huge, right? I mean, so many years I've taken pictures of it, especially at night. It's just beautiful. It's a beautiful sight. You jump on the ride, you're looking up out at the city. It's cool, and it's huge.
It is.
But get ready for this. Today, Wisconsin State Fair announced the America 250 wheel will make its Midwest debut right here with us this August. The ride commemorates America's 250th birthday and the 170th Wisconsin State Fair. This will be the biggest wheel ever at State Fair Park. It is 230 feet tall.
They couldn't make it 250 to kind of stay on brand with America celebrating its 250th anniversary.
It does make you wonder how all that came to be, and at some point, if it's just no, for safety reasons, you can't make it any bigger. But I mean, imagine like a 20-story building sitting in the middle of State Fair Park. It is nearly as tall as the Wisconsin Capitol Dome. This is my favorite part. The massive Ferris wheel has 45 gondolas, so a ton. I feel like it's going to make the lines go quicker because you've got 45 of them, right?
Sure.
And each one of those gondolas highlights a U.S. president. So I was telling Greg this before. You might have missed it because it was earlier in the show, but I think about the Sky Glider. As a kid, I was always like, ooh, I hope I get the blue one, or because you're never really sure, if people are going up in a pair, just one person's going up, so you never know which color you're going to get. I still do that as an adult. So if you think about now that each of these gondolas has a U.S. president, people are going to be in line saying, I want that president.
Give me on Fillmore.
Okay, so I had said earlier, maybe give me Lincoln, tall president, tall wheel, it just works.
Okay.
But I printed up for Greg a list of the presidents of the United States. You've got everyone on here, the 45 individuals who have served as president. I know you've taken a peek at it already, and you kind of have thoughts, but I want to know which one you would pick.
I've given it a lot of thought. I said jokingly when we talked about this earlier that James Polk just doesn't seem to get a lot of credit for the work that he did. He was president at the time Wisconsin became a state. I feel like that's monumental. That's a big deal. Maybe we don't even have this thing in the state of Wisconsin if it weren't for James Polk fighting for the people in Wisconsin and the state to become a state of Wisconsin. James Polk, president in 1848. I'm a big fan of the interstate system, or at least the concept behind it. I don't like the construction, so hats off to Dwight D. Eisenhower for that. Maybe
Get
hop
out
in the
of here,
Eisenhower.
really?
Well, if you think about,
did think about this more when I said start thinking.
You're moving on the wheel.
Okay.
You're moving on the roads.
I like that.
Eisenhower brought 94 to the state of Wisconsin. Like, that was a big deal, huge deal.
I think the easy one is George Washington. Like, he's the VIP gondola,
Well,
right?
sure. I wonder if it'll
What
work
about
the opposite
Kennedy?
way.
Kennedy's like fun, flashy. That's kind of like State Fair.
Probably a little.
I mean, he was not like State Fair. Don't get me wrong, but like young, youthful.
He is the first non-balding president that I remember. I guess that is. I don't know if that's a polite way to say it, but I guess Abe Lincoln had a pretty good head of hair. I wonder if it'll go the opposite way, where people will say like, "Well, I ain't getting in Clinton." Forget that.
No, you're so right.
I'm not riding in that one.
That
You
is
kidding
a
me?
good point, and I don't even want to start saying what people are going to start saying. But yes, you are so right. And you know what? I don't want it to get political.
Yeah.
Here, I thought this was a nice little fun feature for the 250th anniversary. But no, this could get a little tricky now
Like,
in
sir,
the lines at State Fair.
Ma'am, are you hopping
man.
in? Like, heck no, I'm waiting for Herbert Hoover. I mean, what are you doing? Give me Coolidge all day long, right? Everybody's going to have their take on it. It's a great concept. I like the idea. But this is massive. I don't know what the Ferris wheel at Summerfest is. That's another big one with a beautiful view. But I remember being at the top of that, and every once in a while, these rides, and even the Sky Glider, it sticks, and all of a sudden you're stuck wondering, wait, are we going to move again? Is something wrong? What happened? Everybody okay? If you're at the top of the Ferris wheel, that gives you a little bit of little pause. And I think this one would be quite a bit bigger than the one that I'm used to at Summerfest.
Yeah. Jimmy Carter feels very State Fair. He's It's got the farming roots, the peanuts.
Okay.
Some wholesome energy.
I like that.
By the way, if you don't have it on your calendar yet, State Fair this year runs August 6th through the 16th. And we will see you there.
We definitely will. It's 2:53 on WTMJ. We'll wrap up the program with some final thoughts after this.
Getting your home ready for summer, you cleaned the floors, but they still don't look nice. Vince Vitrano for Hunt's Flooring in Greenfield. Carpet worn, floors scratched up, vinyl dated. Let's get my team from Hunt's to upgrade and replace. The compliments will come all summer long. Happened to my house since we got real hardwood installed at a great price from Hunt's. Hunt's Flooring works efficiently, keeps turnaround times quick, so you're not stuck in a long project. Tell them Vinny sent you. Stop out at Highway 100 in Greenfield or get started at huntsflooring.com.
Hey, thanks, Vinny. Hey, if you're catching a Brewers game the next time they're home, in fact, they'll be home tomorrow and the rest of the weekend, Potawatomi Sportsbook can get you there. Forget about traffic. You know the parking lot's going to be amped, a lot of cars, great energy at the ballpark. Well, make it easy on yourself. Make any purchase in the sportsbook or same-day sports bet. You'll get a wristband and a seat on the shuttle. Takes you right to American Family Field. Got to have that wristband on to get on the shuttle leaving Potawatomi. It boards in the annex just next to the sportsbook. Shuttles begin departing Potawatomi an hour before game time. Return shuttles begin top of the 7th inning and go nonstop until an hour after the game. Become a legend at Potawatomi.
Keeping you updated on culture and creativity. What's on Tap with Sandy Max.
In the studio with me, artist Adam Heimbach.
I'm mostly known for my very elaborate, bright-colored landscape paintings and performance art, but for this event, I made my first ever sculptures, realistic depictions of what Wisconsin's famous for. Jeez.
Weeknights at 6 on WTMJ and the What's on Tap podcast on WTMJ.com.
It's Mike with Infinity Exteriors. I've seen it all, Wisconsin. Sketchy sales gimmicks for low-quality windows, siding that costs more than a new home, fly-by-night roofers. 60,000 happy customers made a better choice. Infinity Exteriors roofing, siding, and windows all come with our lifetime workmanship warranty, no overcharges, and transparent pricing. At Infinity Exteriors, we're on a mission to save our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
So this just in, Wayne Shung, who's the leader of the group who's been organizing the mass rescues, as they call them, at Ridgeland Farms in Dane County, he was just arraigned and just entered a not guilty plea. And I was taking a look. We told you this was going to happen at 2. His arraignment was just minutes away. So he has now entered that not guilty plea. And I was taking a look at the court information, and I do see as well that the state has now added some new charges. Initially, he was charged with burglary, but it now looks like there are 4 charges against Wayne Shung. That includes burglary, criminal damage to property, theft, of course, talking about the beagles, because during that attempt in March, the activists took 20 beagles out. Then remember, a month later, they went back. They wanted to get all the dogs, but they weren't even able to get onto the property, past the new reinforcements that Ridgeland put up, because they had these new reinforcements up. They had police out there. They had security. So at that time, they weren't able to get any of the dogs. But this theft right there, of course, this goes back to the March event where they were able to take 20 beagles. Looks like two counts. Actually, 10 counts of theft, 14 counts of theft. So bottom line, you've got Wayne Shung, who is the leader of this group, who has now entered a not guilty plea, and the state of Wisconsin now has 4 charges against him. He is facing like 30-plus years in jail if convicted.
Wow. Yeah, we'll keep you updated as this story continues to develop here on WTMJ. It's 2:57. We are out of time. Back again tomorrow to round out the work week here, heading into a holiday weekend. Lots of good stuff planned for you for tomorrow's program, and including CBS radio operations closing up shop here this weekend. So we've got a historical perspective on CBS radio coming up tomorrow, one that you will not want to miss. Very interesting stuff, as reporting from World War II. Edward R. Murrow back in the day. It's 2:57. Wisconsin's afternoon news begins in just a few minutes here on WTMJ.
The news you need to know every weekday on Wisconsin's Morning News.
15 ayes and 18 noes. The bill is not concurred.
What I find interesting is both sides appeared to just put all their chips in, the all-in. We're